Huh.
Don't know why I didn't call.
Let's see. Are we back? I think we're back. Okay, we back. Wait, babe. Okay, there we go. We good.
Nefertiti.
What's up, good
Kathy.
people? I got us a new mic, so something happened here. I don't know why it's not. Huh?
Wait a minute, Young Thug Rico trial?
What?
Young Thug's on trial?
They've been on trial.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You said like, girl, what the hell wrong with you? I don't know. Just trying.
All right, give us 1 second, good people. Let me
What's wrong, baby?
the audio.
Can y'all hear us?
They can hear us. It's just it's a setting with this. I know what it is. I'm just trying to figure it out. Give us 1 second.
I know I look a little wild today. I got a muumuu dress on. I have no makeup on.
Muumuu dress?
It's called a muumuu, isn't it? Or is it
I
called
don't
a
know.
mama? I think it's called a muumuu dress.
I couldn't tell you, shorty.
It's like a dress that's like really loose. That like old grannies used to wear. You know. She's fixing the volume. I'm pulling up our videos.
Okay, I think.
But y'all, how's your week been so far?
Yeah, give us the 411. Enable.
Give me the 411. Give me the 411.
You about to sing everything like?
I don't know why I'm in a singing mood. I'm in the mood today.
Okay. I think we should be good. All right. Bear with us, good people.
Look at this mess right here.
What?
I'm just looking at this craziness with this lady. Rosebud.
What's up, Rosebud?
Nefertiti said, the older I get, the more the muumuu house dress is appealing. Listen, I feel free right now, okay? I feel free. I feel open. Nothing is, like, squeezing me. I just feel like it's as close to walking around the way I really want to walk around. But, you know, I don't want to be triggering nausea all the time.
Okay.
Oh, please. Sorry, I'm just...
What?
I'm looking this up. Are we good to go?
I think so. I'm trying to figure out why is this having this little thing right here.
Why we have to wait?
Interesting. This is interesting. I hope that it doesn't stay that way. Huh. I wonder if I just have to reset.
Got to say, amen, sister. Yeah, lately.
We good. All right, got it fixed. Go ahead, lady. What's up?
We'll pour the wine back because we need to get lit a little. No, we don't.
Lit.
But something.
All right, we good now. Okay, much better, much better. Just need a quick reset. What's up, good people? What's happening in the chat? What's up, Kathy, our lawyer, moderator? She's the moderator of the year. We need an award.
Kathy's our mama.
Basically.
Kathy's our YouTube mom.
Yeah.
I love me some Kathy. What's this say? This comment says, have you seen the TikTok memes? Women in movie dresses with the matching robes talking about this is how grandma's bills got paid.
Oh, God.
Listen, never mind. I almost made a funny joke, but, I did almost make a joke, though.
That's funny. Okay. So.
Kathy says she prefers YouTube mom.
YouTube mom?
Mm-hmm.
It's
She's
true.
our YouTube mom.
Yeah, it's true. So I was scrolling Law and Crime. You know what I'm thinking about? because there's so many like different cases and stuff that be going on that I see when I'm on Law and Crime, and it's like, in order for us to hit on them all, but actually go into it, we need another system. So I was thinking maybe we touch on each one on YouTube, and then do the second half maybe like in the Patreon or something like that. I think that because that way we can actually go into like all the different ones. Because otherwise, like I seen like 2 that I want to look at, but I'm like, man, we got to finish up the rest of the Lori. So maybe we'll do the first live each week on the actual cases that we want to look at, and then the continuations of them, like through Patreon or something like that. Maybe helpful. No worries, huh? All right.
Whatever you want, buddy.
Okay, so let's take a look at this one here.
Wait, before we go, I just randomly saw
Oh, you got words?
Go to YouTube. No, but this is for YouTube because I personally have my thoughts. I really want to try to stay on YouTube as much as possible. But go to playlist and then go to random. I just made one that says random. Okay, I just want to play this one
I
first.
saw that. Yeah, I
haven't seen it, so that's why I wanted to see it.
I watched it.
Well, thanks.
I didn't tell you what happened. Okay, cool. We're gonna check this out.
Have y'all seen the man that freaks out on the airline staff? I've not seen this, so let's see what happens. It sounds crazy.
Yeah, he'll
Let's see.
Hold on 1 second.
Pause. And start over.
I got you, baby.
I had headphones on.
Second, let's see.
It's on the right one.
Yeah.
Can you turn it sideways? I think that'll help. And then let's make sure it's not.
Turn that up.
Yeah. Hopefully we're not having any. Go ahead.
I was sleeping. Why is the baby yelling?
Y'all, can y'all hear that? You have it on your AirPods?
Mm-mm.
You check up there?
Hold on 1 second. Let's see.
We have all types of issues today.
Yeah, we're going through it right quick.
The Madeline Kingsbury case? Yeah, I'm going to check that one out too. Because I know nothing at all about it.
That's what we're about to review.
We are? I thought you said we're doing Doomsday.
Yeah, we're going to look at... not. That's what you mean. I was trying to tell you, shorty. Okay, let's see here.
Hopefully we can get to it.
Let's see if that fixes it. Oh, wow. That doesn't fix it.
You have all type of tech issues.
Yeah, we...
Okay, maybe that'll help now.
All right,
okay. Sorry.
Wow. All right. Here we go.
I had headphones on. I was sleeping. Why is the baby yelling? I'm not screaming. You want me to scream? You want me to scream? I'll scream.
A man goes off on staff aboard a Southwest flight with a profanity-laced tirade because of a crying baby. I'm Anjanette Levy, and thanks for joining us here on Law and Crime. A Wisconsin man recorded that video on Monday. He was on a flight that left Baltimore bound for Orlando. Mark Grabowski captured the video and said the plane was stuck in a holding pattern because of weather when the baby started to cry.
Why is the baby yelling? I'm not screaming. You want me to scream? You want me to scream? I'll scream. Please stop the baby. Please. Bro, please. That child was a black baby. What the be happening right now?
Oh, that's what
We're
blew me
not
out.
in Florida yet. You can't.
Grabowski was clearly entertained by the passenger's rant. Flight attendants attempted repeatedly to calm the man.
You want to be rational? No. We are in a tin can with a baby in a echo chamber, and you want to talk to me about being okay?
Okay, because you're yelling.
So is the baby.
Okay, so
You clown.
Did that pay extra to yell? Shut up.
No.
I don't give a. You Lower that baby's voice.
So now we're all getting deplaned. Well, that's probably not how his wife imagined their Florida getaway going.
It's not exactly clear what happened to the man after he got off the plane, but video captured him talking with security officers and police. Spokespeople for the Orlando airport and Southwest Airlines are not commenting on the incident. For Law and Crime, I'm Anjanette Levy.
Goddamn fool. First thing I want to say is,
what a fucking idiot.
That was the first thing I wanted to say.
What a large fucking child.
This man said,
I've never met a grown man so jealous of a baby. Like, you're so mad that this baby has the right to yell, and you're just an overgrown one.
like,
I mean, he was bald and fat, so I guess he wanted to be a baby.
He was small but big. So here's the thing. This guy is up here arguing, getting mad. I can understand. Let's just say the baby, or not the baby, but let's just say it was like a kid or something like that, right? The baby ain't got no control. The parent it's not much you can do. It's a baby. Like, been here for maybe a few months, a couple months. And you talk about shut the baby up.
You're yelling, so's the baby.
That was the most ignorant.
What are you gonna put a muzzle on him? Like, how you gonna
and here's the
coach
thing,
him out of it?
I think we can all agree that it is annoying when a baby is like crying and yelling and you're on the airplane. I think we all probably had that experience if you fly enough, right? But they have these little tools.
Don't take those out. It's gonna mess around.
That you can put into your ear, which allows you, especially nowadays, these are noise cancellation. Randy got me some noise cancellation AirPods for my birthday a couple years back. They do a very good job of canceling out anything. Buy you some. You in a public plane complaining because there's a baby and a parent that paid the same amount of money that you paid, and you're upset because the baby is crying. Like, do something to prevent the situation from happening for you. You can wear some headphones. There's things that you can do to prevent it.
Man Green, I get screaming babies are a pain, especially on a plane, but that was so much worse than anything a baby could do. For real. I mean, like, dude, and you're embarrassing. Like, you're a weird, embarrassing human. Let's just, like, move on. But I'm glad we watched it. That was really weird.
It was just really blunt. Because imagine him out at public. Imagine him at a party. Turn the music down. Like, just a horrible person to be around. It's embarrassing. Get it together.
Mama Kathy said, baby or small children do not understand why their ears pop. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, send him some nightcaps so his big ass can go back to sleep. He needs a nap.
He needs some nightcaps.
He needs a nap.
Basically.
Little punk.
That's
and
crazy.
L Car's in the hills. I don't know where he went. I want to find this.
What's up, L Car?
Comment. He said, oh, here you go. Unc snapped.
He did more to stout. He wilding.
He's not my uncle.
Somebody uncle.
Shit. Look like a damn fool. Anyway, it'd be fine. It's fine to be aggravated by a screaming child. Acting like an asshole is not. Babies are babies. They cry. Flying isn't fun for them. Right.
Like, why are you yelling, though?
He'd be telling everyone not to have fun. Here's my problem. Here's my other issue. I have a problem. Outside of the baby. So let's move the baby out of the way. Let's say there was no baby. There's some other issue that was, like, more legitimate. Why are you screaming and cussing out the flight attendant like he's the one that's doing it?
Like it's his baby.
Why are you screaming and cussing out a flight attendant who's just there to work and just to get their shit done? I really never like people who take advantage of people at work.
You know, that's always been a pet peeve of mine. I talk about that all the time. Because people are handicapped at work. Yeah. They can't respond the way they would respond if they were in public and you came at them with that energy.
And you know it.
And you know it, so you take advantage of it by trying to do whatever you would do while they're at work, but you won't do it when they punch out. Like, and maybe he would, but the point is, you don't do it while that person's at work.
Right.
That's just a no-go. Now, if they came at you crazy, that's different, right? But you don't start nothing about a baby.
Don't start no shit, won't be no. Anyway, Kathy said, hit the like button. It's free. Subscribe, set notifications to all. Click the bell. Comment after the live so it sticks, and consider joining Najee Reyna's Patreon. Thank you to our YouTube mama. We see 10 people in right now. We're about to go ahead and get started on what you guys came here for. And we have starting off with a super chat early on from Mama Kathy.
Thank you, Mama
Thank
Kathy.
you. Thank
We
you so
appreciate you
much.
greatly.
Yes, greatly. Actually, Najee's been using our YouTube to continue getting the better internet. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've not had any internet problems.
Yeah.
Press some wood. Oh my god.
It's all behind you.
Okay, we've not had any internet problems for a
Yeah.
while, so thank you.
We switched over.
Your super chats go to a little bit more expensive
Yeah.
internet.
You can see we got the new mic, better quality, better cameras. It's not like a really big.
Just one more because I love her.
Yeah. So we appreciate it.
Besides, now we have to hear a baby crying and your bitch ass crying.
Seriously though.
Come on, Dad. I personally think he was acting out because he didn't want to be there. Well, I mean, he's at least 45. Like, he's at least 50. Like, stop. You're too grown for that. Let's get to the video, y'all, because I want to know what the hell's happened with the Doomsday crazy lady.
No, not Doomsday. First, missing mom.
Let's get to the missing mom, baby. Let's see what the hell's going on.
Missing mom.
Bendy!
Madeline.
Hi.
Madeline Kingsbury.
Hi, Bendy.
And then we're gonna hop into.
You see Bendy?
What's up, Bendy?
Our baby.
Bendy was on Built by Plants live the other night.
Oh yeah, Bendy was on our Vegan Rena live a couple days ago too. Our Vegan Rena, I'm sorry, Vegan Bay.
Oh,
Naja Rena Vegan Bay page.
Yeah.
Yes, a all around circle. We do YouTube and lives on our other channels too. So Naja didn't know a lot of lives on Built by Plants. So anyway, let's get to it. I'm ready.
Let's do it. Oh wait, let me pop that up.
The search is on for a young mother who suddenly disappeared in Minnesota 2 weeks ago. We break down what we know and speak with her sister. This is the story of Madeline Kingsbury. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. All right, so we want to get into a story right now out of Winona, Minnesota.
Mikey!
At the time of this recording, 26-year-old Madeline Jane Kingsbury, a mother of two, hasn't been seen since March 31st. No contact whatsoever with her friends, no contact whatsoever with her family. It is very, very eerie. And the search efforts have been quite extensive. But let's actually start with going through what we know so far. So back on March 31st, Madeline, or Maddie, drops off her two kids, a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, at daycare with their father, Adam Fravel. This happens at around 8 a.m. She then returns home. Her sister, Megan Kingsbury, says that she receives a final text message from Maddie, basically laughing at a photo that Megan sent her. And Megan says that that is the last time anyone has heard from Maddie Kingsbury. Now, the father of the kids says he left home at around 10 a.m. And when he returned back home later on in the day, Maddie wasn't there. She doesn't show up for work. She doesn't show up to pick up the kids. This is all being told that this is all extremely out of character for Maddie Kingsbury. Now, here is something interesting. Police go to her home, and they find her cell phone, they find her wallet, they find her ID, and they find her jacket. These are all things that you would take if you were leaving. And there's no evidence that she just left home on foot or was driving a different car. So, of course, the question is, was she taken? But there's something else I have to mention. Fox 9 reporting that according to police, in the late morning, early afternoon on the day she went missing, a vehicle matching the description of Maddie's car, a 2014 blue Chrysler Town & Country, is seen on County Road 12 and Highway 43 in Winona County, and then southbound on Highway 43 through the eastern part of Fillmore County. The van then travels back towards Winona on Highway 43 and remains in the driveway of Maddie's home from 1:30 p.m. onward. Now, police haven't said who is driving the van, but we do believe authorities have the van and have processed it.
Wow.
Family members are offering a $50,000 reward for information about her whereabouts as police and volunteers scour.
We'll just get this straight. So, she didn't pick up the kids. She's missing. We don't know what's going on. But they were able to see that her car drove down a highway and then came back home and she's missing. So wouldn't you think that maybe someone took her, drove somewhere, buried her, and then dropped the car back off at the house. That's what I thought.
Or did something with her.
Because this feels like mama ain't here.
That's crazy.
To me, I'm like, all her shit.
I was about to say, and they left everything, though. Keys, phone, wallet, or a purse or whatever. That's pretty wild.
This seems really bad. I want to just rewind it just a little bit because I want to get this map thing again.
Went missing. A vehicle matching the description of Maddie's car, a 2014 blue Chrysler Town & Country, is seen on County Road 12 and Highway 43 in Winona County, and then southbound on Highway 43 through the eastern part of Fillmore County. The van then travels back towards Winona on Highway 43 and remains in the driveway of Maddie's home from 1:30 p.m. onward. Now, police haven't said who is driving the van, but we do believe authorities have the van and have processed it. Family members are offering a $50,000 reward for information about her whereabouts as police and volunteers scour fields, woods, waterways in and around Winona, Minnesota. Police have enlisted the help of residents in and around the counties, asking them to walk their properties, check outbuildings, look for any signs of a disturbance. The chief of police asking residents to check any.
Woo, baby, this is some wild shit.
Man.
First of all, let's pause for Miss Bendy. What's going on with Bendy?
Thank you,
Bendy,
Bendy.
hopefully your husband's not. It's actually not that late today, but yes, shout out Bendy. Thank you so much. We love you too.
Appreciate the
Thank you
$6.99
for
super
the
chat.
$6.99 Canadian $6.99 super chat.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what that means.
Side note: the sound effects are all the way down, so it's very low. I made sure of it, so it shouldn't be waking nobody up.
There you go. Oh my god.
What?
Anyway, so yes, but back to this. This sounds like one of those, like, just waiting to. I mean, it would be a miracle if it's not what it sounds like. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, you got anything? It's your video you found.
I just wanted to see what else they got to say about it. I mean,
okay, my bad.
In and around the counties, asking them to walk their properties, check outbuildings, look for any signs of a disturbance. The chief of police asking residents to check any property cameras, including doorbell and security cameras covering the time period from 8 a.m. on March 31st to 4 p.m. on April 1st. Contact law enforcement if the van that we have been describing you've seen on any of your footage. The Winona Police Department has classified Maddie's disappearance as suspicious and involuntary, and they continue to conduct targeted searches based on tips and information. Winona PD saying in the last week there have been foot, aerial, and water searches conducted. We are using all available resources in the search, including sonar, submersibles, and dog teams. Madeline Kingsbury is 5 foot 4 inches tall, weighs 135 pounds, has brown hair and hazel eyes. If you have any information, please contact law enforcement. You can also call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS or online at crimestoppersmn.org. So that's the background. But as of right now, authorities are refusing to ID a suspect or any person of interest at this time. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, the kid's father, Adam Fravel, who has been the subject of online speculation that he is behind what happened to Madeline.
wow.
Reporting indicating he may have been the last person to see her. So reporting indicates that at the time of Madeline's disappearance, she was no longer in a relationship with Adam Fravel. And while the two were still in the same home, she was looking to find a new place. Now, Fravel didn't have custodial rights to the children, and a judge ordered the kids to be kept with social services. It's been alleged that Fravel and his family were not cooperative with social workers when they showed up to take the kids, refused to turn over their belongings, even yelled profanities. A statement from Adam Fravel through his lawyer has been released, and it says in part, quote, "Over the course of the last 12 days, my family and I have been subject to a myriad of accusations regarding the disappearance of the mother of my children, Maddie Kingsbury. During these last 12 days, I have cooperated with law enforcement at every turn, including sitting down for multiple interviews with Winona County law enforcement. I did not have anything to do with Maddie's disappearance. I want the mother of my 5-year-old and 2-year-old to be found and brought home safely. I want that more than anything.
So I think it's important to like break this up so we're not overwhelmed with information. So I'm just gonna pause for a second, get through readings where we're at with some stuff. So real quick, 11 in the chat, 7 likes. Hit the like button, it's free. Subscribe, it's free. Set notifications, it's free. Comment after the live because it's free. Consider joining Patreon. It's not free, but consider it.
Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you, Kathy. Yes, please hit that like button. That's going to help more people see the video. It's going to help it pop in your news feed, on your YouTube channel, your browser feed, whatever it's called. And yeah, tap it. Yes,
Meg, yeah. So Meg said, do we know for sure it wasn't her driving the car? The reason why I think it wasn't her driving the car is because she drove it, came back, and I think the time they said she was missing. I don't know. Maybe it was her driving. I want to know if the father was where he said he was. Well, it sounds like he is. People are thinking like you, Mama.
Yeah, that's interesting because he was. They did say that he, wasn't necessarily cooperative when it came to the.
But I want to know why there was social services taking the kids in the first place. Because if she's a good mom and he's a bad parent, bad father, why take the child? It's like, was there too many issues in the household that they didn't want the children seeing? Like, there's got to be more to this story because who takes the children when everybody else is okay? Meg, I wonder how far back the driver's seat was. Her ex-boyfriend, who was the last to see her, has buttoned up and retained a lawyer. Well, it's his right? I think he's the culprit. Neff said it's hard to be suspicious, not to be suspicious of him. A lot of times it is the partner, or I guess here the ex-partner. The father did not have custody. So why was social services coming to take the kids? Oh, after the mom was missing? Is that what you mean? Were they okay? So wait, the social services come to take the children once Maddie was missing? Because that
makes sense. Because she was dropping them off that day at school, so she probably wouldn't be able to do that, normally.
Right.
So that makes more sense.
Okay, sorry. 50 grand is kind of a high amount for a family to offer. No, it's not. Let me say something. Just so you know, I work in banking, and when I say 50K is nothing, 50 grand is nothing when someone has enough money. Like, I have people who look regular, living anywhere part of America where 50 grand is nothing. And I mean, like, nothing. Okay.
Especially for your loved one.
I'm talking about they spent 50 grand just on a weekend just because they want a ticket. I mean, I remember my grandmother talking about something, this was $12,000. I don't know why. Like, there's some people who have a lot of money and they have money set aside for stuff like this, but not really like this. They have money set aside for emergencies, and this is an emergency. And I'm telling you, 50 grand is not a lot of money. In fact, I manage a book of business almost $600 million at work, and the type of money I see people have, I have over like 2,000 clients. They got money, so it's just not. It's, in fact, they'll go up if they really want to. They'll go up. I wouldn't be surprised if they go up to $100,000 or $200,000. So after the mom went missing is when social services went to go get the kids, and they were fighting for that. That makes more sense. Thanks, Neffy. 50K is kind of normal, especially if her whole family pitched in to pull the money. It's statistically likely him, but that's not proof enough for me to be completely convinced it's him. It looks bad, absolutely, but I'll need to wait for more. That's a smart approach. We can't it's not fair just to believe everything just because it usually goes that way. I was just talking to someone about that earlier, so agreed. Let's get back to the video, but I'm glad we kind of stopped to assess where we're at.
As for Madeline's family, they have issued a statement as well. The Kingsbury family statement says in part, quote, Nothing in life prepares you for this. The disappearance of our daughter and sister has been a walking nightmare with no respite. In the days and nights since Madeline disappeared, the immediate family and extended family have collectively and individually been experiencing emotions and trials that someone who has never been suddenly thrust into this horrific situation could ever imagine. It goes on to state, quote, "We will continue to search for Madeline. We will not give up, and our family will come out the other side of this forever changed, but forever grateful for the tireless dedication of so many helpers, friends, and relatives, people in law enforcement, other first responders, social workers, caseworkers, legal professionals, child advocates, and many, many more." As we continue the discussion into Madeline Kingsbury's disappearance, I want to bring on a very special guest right now. Maddie's sister, Megan Kingsbury. Megan, thank you so much for coming on. I know this is a difficult time for you and your family. I can't imagine what you're all going through, but we really do appreciate it. You taking the time to talk a little bit more about the case.
Okay, before we get into that, because I'm not going to want to pause her testimony unless it's something crazy. Let's just wrap up some of these comments right here. Maybe that's weird of me, but I've seen several cases where husbands, where everyone was convinced it was the husband, but it wasn't. Agreed. It's not weird, you girl. We with you. We're right here with you, baby. We're right here. I agree with you. Never TD. Him fighting CPS with the kids doesn't look good either, but I can understand.
Sorry, babe. Come on. Here you go, baby. Come on, baby.
You just knocked the hell out of me.
Yes. Everybody see me knock the hell out of you. There you go. There you go.
Beaten. Right there. Is that like Draymond Green, the guy? That hurt. Anyway, like I was saying, before I was beaten across the head.
Knocked out.
Nefertiti said, him fighting CPS. Now I got a headache. Him fighting CPS about the kids doesn't look good either, but I can understand. But I'm not sure why he doesn't have custody of his own children, but lived in the same home as them. Exactly. Kathy said, true, Meg. Usually my gut leads me, but this one I'm not sure yet. Agreed. Enough. LOL. Mama Kathy's not going to support you putting your hands on me.
I didn't put my hands on you.
You knocked me upside my head like that, and all I was doing was reading. And Neff said, I saw it, and let me know when the court trial is. I'll be the witness.
I'm going to delete the live.
She still saw it. Look, Mama said, me too, Rada.
Delete it.
You can delete it all you want. What? I got two very good witnesses that be all into crime. They know exactly what's going on. I really got a headache now.
Wash your hair. Remove all the prints.
Wash my hair. Nope, time out. Y'all know the Leo came out. I started being dramatic. All right, let's go. Let's get back to this. Now, Megan Kingsbury or Maggie? Is it Maggie? No, Maddie's the one with the sisters. Megan or Maggie?
I forgot.
It's okay. We'll get to it. But guys, I didn't want to stop anymore with that one. So I just want to make sure that we got all these comments. Sure, we outside.
Hey, y'all leave me alone. Leave me alone, all right?
Ray, I see you right. What the hell, Meg?
No, play that. Play that.
Meg.
Thank you, Meg.
Somebody
that makes sense. Thank you.
Sis. What are you doing? It's supposed to be us against him.
No, I appreciate you, Meg. Somebody got my back.
Meg's like, first of all, let's be fair. Look, Meg on the side of justice. That was funny.
This man said I screen recorded.
I screen recorded it. Thank you.
Golly.
Thank you. Oh my God, Mama Kathy switched up that fast. She said, "Me too, Meg." I can't believe she went that fast.
That's funny.
Okay, Rosa said they were not together but living in the same house in order to care for the kids. She had plans to move. In domestic violence situations, this is the most dangerous time. Just go. Don't announce it. She said, it's true, not hard, but still. I should hit you back. I should just hit you back. All right. Oh, it's kind of hot in here. All right, baby. You ready for the next one? Let me turn the air fan up a little bit.
Do that. Really? Wow.
Trying to keep my moo dress together for a night. Hit me in the head or chest right now.
Really, Trish?
I have no... Thank you. I don't remember that either, Mama. I don't remember that either, Trish. Thank you. I'm so glad. Thank you.
You remember.
The loyal ones.
You remember it.
Thank you to the loyal ones.
Don't be trying to convert my people. Turn them against me.
All right, guys. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Oh, hold on. I'll move it.
Camera, see.
And your family, I can't imagine what you're all going through, but we really do appreciate it. You taking the time to talk a little bit more about the case.
Yeah, anything we can do to spread the word even further, we're happy to do. So thanks for having me.
Of course. So if you can tell us, what is the current status of the search for Maddie? Because it seems like there are developments every day. This has been happening for the last 2 weeks. Where are we right now in the search efforts?
Yeah, so obviously haven't located her yet, but there's various search efforts happening every day, like you said. There were the mass searches with all the volunteers a couple weekends ago that had about 2,000 people, actually more than that. And since then, law enforcement has been working with some more specialized teams. I know they've got a lot of drone activity. They've been searching the Mississippi River. Winona's right on that. And if you're not familiar with the area, or anyone watching, listening, there's tons of little inlets and channels and ponds and lakes. So there's a lot of actual hard ground to cover, and then water to cover as well. So they've been in, out, and around the water multiple times. There was flooding over this past weekend. So,
does any of you all know where this location is? Where are they at?
I don't know. I thought like Maine or Ohio.
Yeah, like Maine, Ohio, or Iowa. Somewhere in there.
Manning.
I'm finished.
That could be seen as a good and a bad thing. Flooding, it tends to kind of shake things up in and under the water. So they're looking at that. Besides drones, aerial searches have been done. The Civil Air Patrol has been flying down in that area. We have some family members who are pilots, and they've been down flying around too. Mounted police, canine units have been used. So they're really pulling out all the stops here in order to try to locate Madeline.
Thanks, Elko.
How much is law enforcement actually communicating with you, their developments or even tips that they're getting? Because I understood that they're targeting their searches based on information they're getting from people.
Yeah, so we are in communication with them every day. My dad in particular corresponds with them every day. And at least once a day, they're kind of giving us a rundown of what they've done during that particular day. But yeah, as far as any like particulars on where they're looking, they kind of keep that kind of close to the vest there. So any specific locations, I don't have that information.
Like, wow, to what she's talking about.
And her car, Maddie's car, has become a particular interest. I was understanding that the car was processed. I think there was a reporting that police were able to track the location of the car during the day. I don't know if they actually confirmed who was driving it at what point. What should we know about Maddie's car? Because I know that also law enforcement has made an effort to say, hey, if you have surveillance footage and you see the car between this time frame and this time frame, let us know. What should we be knowing about that?
Right now, so we're trying to piece together.
Hold on real quick. I just saw a super chat come in from Nefertiti, 20 dólares. Oh my gosh. Give her a double one. Thanks, Nap. That's so sweet of you.
appreciate Jeanette for the super sticker, $20 super sticker. What is
Yes,
it?
it's
Say
a baby
baby.
lemon jumping in our lemon character's arm to hug him.
Interesting.
You can see it over here. Let me show you.
Ah, interesting.
It's a love hug. It's a lemon hug.
Lemon head.
It's a lemon head love hug.
We appreciate you.
Thank you, Naf. We really appreciate you, girl. All right, let's get back to it. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we got to.
You
know, what should we be knowing about that?
I mean, right now, so we're trying to piece together, where her car was in between the time that it left her home and when it returned. So I think it's between like 10 and 1 on that day of March 31st. So, and it's not clear who was driving the vehicle. There is, as far as I know, some surveillance video of the.
They didn't track her phone location.
Her phone was at the house.
Right, but I mean, like before, like up until the time that she put it down.
I don't know yet.
That'd be
van at a gas station in Rushford. There is, as far as I know, some surveillance video of the van at a gas station in Rushford, Minnesota, just kind of driving by, but you can't see who is driving it. So, and any footage that they are able to get that even a glimpse of the van would be extremely helpful.
Do you have a theory on what happened to your sister, as we're all trying to figure it out?
I think, everybody does, myself and my family included, but at this point, we don't want to jeopardize any sort of current or future investigation, so we're just not speculating publicly at this time.
And I won't push you at that at all. I do have some questions, though, because as you can imagine, the target of a lot of online speculation and theories is centered around Adam Fravel. This is the father of Maddie's children. He has released a statement saying he has nothing to do with this. He said that he wants Maddie a safe return. I was curious because there was this back and forth where he claimed that he was told by authorities not to help in the search efforts or attend news conferences. But the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension said they're not aware of him being told that. I was curious if you could give me your thoughts on that.
I guess I don't really have any because I wasn't aware that he had been told that either. So, I mean, we're just in agreement with the rep. I think her name is Bonnie from the BCA. Just, we weren't aware of that either.
What should we know about his relationship with your sister?
That also we're not commenting too much on, except for what's already out there. They were no longer in a romantic relationship. And, the plan was to co-parent. They were going to be living separately, but stay within the vicinity of each other for the kids. They had struggles like everybody else, but they were no longer romantically involved.
Again, you don't have to.
What?
Y'all know you can bring me back down if I'm wrong. She does look exhausted for obvious reasons. And I also think it makes sense for her to not divulge a lot of information.
Yeah.
Real quick, this is the part. I appreciate her on restraint on speculating publicly. I agree with that. Rosebud said it takes a while for Ellie to build a case, and they may be watching the movements of the father for kids. I'm going to be doing some research whether there has been any past DV calls. B10 them. Okay. Good one, Sherlock. Great job. I really appreciate her restraint. This restraint, her composure, better than I could ever have done. And Nefertiti's back. Here's my thing. The only thing is this. Here's my thing. I think she should have restraint to not create like mass hysteria or ruin a man's life. Because like we just admitted before, been plenty of times where everyone thinks it's somebody and it's not them, and then like that person's life is ruined. It's not fair. But at the same time, I guess I just don't see, unless there's something serious that we are missing, what's wrong with saying that, like, the type of relationship that they had? You know, like, unless it was like something very heinous. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's because more than likely her opinion is that it has something to do with him or was him. So to talk about their relationship is also going into her thought process of who she believes it is. Mm-hmm. And let's just say worst case scenario, or maybe best case scenario, or whatever it may be, whatever case, they find out that it has nothing to do with him. Like, the aftermath never has as much press as the beginning. Mm-hmm. So if they were to all go in and say, yeah, I think it's him, or, you know, or talk about this, whatever, that's going to get the most attention. People never give the apologies or any of the, you know, the drawbacks or, you know, bringing it back. They don't give that attention. They give all of the pushing the attention, and then it's like on to the next thing. Yeah. So, you know, it's best for her to take her approach. So you got to appreciate what she's doing.
I do.
To take that approach, because then she don't want to put herself in a situation like she's just throwing blame, even though she does have to speculate. And she probably does know that they have, you know, a bad relationship or whatever may happen. But, you know, that's my opinion.
I agree. I guess it's so vague, but maybe information could help people find her, you know. But maybe she's giving that information to the people who really need it and not us. Because, sure. Coffee _56 said, I live in Winona and everyone knows it was the boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
Well, damn.
Thank you for hopping in, Coffee.
Right, welcome, Coffee.
Dude, now here's the thing. Do speak more, okay? We can talk about it here. We're not the family, so if you do have ideas or understanding or more inside information, you know,
give it.
We can discuss it.
Elcar is coming with a new perspective, saying maybe it's this sister, which, you know, it's like, damn. What if it's her also, meaning the sister? I mean, at this point, I guess you really just don't know. Elcar, what's making you think it could be her? Just because? Or is she giving, like, a vibe? I don't know. Nefertiti said, I wonder if she doesn't want to say anything to not show her hand of what she may or may not know if the kidnapper's watching. Yeah, Neff. I mean, that's true. Like, she probably doesn't want to, like, give too much information where, you know, the kidnapper or the killer could be like, fuck, they're onto me, and then do something more.
Because she could still technically be alive, right? So if you're like contributing to, you know, him being caught or him, her, whoever being caught, that can cause them to retaliate, so to speak. So, you know, that's a good point as well. That's probably the reason for her taking the process.
I feel like this is the obvious one. I think that I just want to know more. So yeah. Now, Mama Kathy said there's been no ransom requests yet. It's been 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Maybe it's not for ransom then. Maybe it's for something far more sinister, you know. The sister gave the interview. I don't think it was her, Elcar. Well, it's not really important for the public to know this at this time. I know. I said that. And if she says it wasn't very good or even kind of bitter, many people will use that for the kindling to feed the fire. You're right, Meg. You're right, girl. Yeah. Coffee said, we know as in it seems obvious.
Let me move my hand around a different way. So
yes, baby. Avoid harming me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He has been named a suspect. The police haven't named him, but if you read between the lines, it's obvious that he is the suspect. There is a very keen difference between know and suspect. Yep. Agreed. Elcar said she gave a random location of where the van may have been, but they couldn't ID the driver. It's definitely personal Najee. Police all but said that she left the house in the van. I mean, this is, I guess, the reason why the woman doesn't want to give a lot of information, because if she gave us even a little inch, that man would be crucified, and he may not be the actual person to have done it.
Yeah.
It all points to him, though. I mean, they broke up. They're no longer together. He obviously wants his kids because he was fighting with social services. You never know how far someone's willing to go for what they think is for the betterment of their child, and actually it's ruining everyone's lives because of their selfishness. You never know. But I think that because it's such an obvious option, it may open up the doors to someone else being able to go in and maximize on that situation that has nothing to do with the boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, they're going through a divorce. We know that they're having trouble. This is my time to snatch her because they're gonna think it's him. You know, that could be it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meg said, I'm just defensive about this because you know about my uncle and relatives and his wife who were completely innocent and were whispering gossip about forever about being involved by the community. Yeah, I know. I remember you telling us that story, Meg. So
side note, before we continue, we have 11 people in the chat. We got 7 likes. Please tap that like button. Let's get up to at least 10 likes. Thank you very much.
Trish, facts. They don't want the boyfriend to bolt. Agreed. Let's get back to the video, guys. I want to see what else is going on, but this is getting juicy.
Vicinity of each other for the kids. You know, they had struggles like everybody else, but they were no longer romantically involved.
Again, you don't have to share this, but I am curious. Has law enforcement shared with you, at the very least, they might not have even identified a name. Have they shared that they might have a person of interest or potential suspect, or have they not heard anything about that yet?
You know, at this time, we have the same info as the public as far as that is concerned. I know that they're gathering information to try to get to that point, but at this time, they haven't named a suspect or person of interest to us.
And one of the reasons I mention Adam Fravel is because, as we earlier reported, the kids were taken by social services, and there was reporting that he was not cooperative and he wouldn't give the kids over. What is the status of the children right now, if you can tell us?
All I can say about them is that, you know, I can confirm they're no longer with Adam, but they're in good hands and they're safe. Myself and my family, we've seen them and they're doing really well considering.
Now that makes sense not to talk about because, again, you don't know if they're in danger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to tell y'all where they're at.
This is just like a multi-part reasoning for not speaking too much.
I've been looking at her trying to see if there's anything she'll give away, and she kind of does this. Like this, like, squinty thing. But it's not, like, obvious. Like, just a little. I wonder if that means anything.
You know what's so interesting?
Maybe I think I'm somebody.
After like watching so many like interrogations and such, and they break down like every little body language and what this means and that means. Fun. Put your hand behind your neck, and like if you do this or if you talk this way, you lean your head this way, you look to the left, to the right, whatever. The funny thing part is, I was like, I just be doing shit.
Like they were like, this is a common sign of lying. I'm like, well, you do this, you do this. I'm like, I literally do that all
like,
day
sometimes
long.
My neck just be itching or whatever, you know? Like, it ain't even about...
Like, I'm always fidgeting. I got
right.
ADD.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just look like a suspicious ass person.
I'm like, man.
All right, look at the eye thing I was telling you about.
Kids over. What is the status of the children right now, if you can tell us?
See? Did you see it?
All I can say about them...
not cooperative.
She's done it multiple times. Look.
Give the kids over. What is the status of the children right now, if you can tell us?
All I can say about them is
Girl.
Cooperative.
I see it, but I'm like,
I did this a little bit.
What is the status of the children right now, if you can tell us?
All I can say about them is that
and he wouldn't give the kids over.
I kind of like her.
What is the status of the children right now, if you can tell us? Social services, and there was reporting that he was not cooperative and he wouldn't give the kids over. What is the status of the children right now, if you can tell us?
All I can say about...
So what that means? Does that mean she did it?
No, no. What? No, I don't think she did nothing. I just think she is really trying to make sure she is careful with her communication. And she probably was thinking, why the fuck would I tell you that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe she's thinking like, Why are you asking?
Yeah.
Because she did that again when they were bringing up the father and when they bring up that guy. So. Zoomed.
Zoomed into her soul.
And her soul. No worries, Mag. You don't rant. We are here with you, sugar.
Yeah.
I hope they get some resolution. Oh, we got this one already. You're amongst friends. Rant away. Exactly.
Yeah.
She has a I don't give a fuck stare. I don't think Elcar is with Shorty. I don't think he wants her.
He don't like her.
I don't think he's I don't like how plain your face looks.
She just looks like drained.
But I think
like
she's
spent.
Yes. I think she's drained, she's spent, and she also is trying her hardest not to show emotions.
Yeah.
So that she doesn't give away nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
Neff said, watching body language experts makes me self-conscious. My ADHD will get my innocent ass put in jail because I can't sit still. Seriously. I'd be like
just doing
moving around. I'd be laughing, making inappropriate jokes.
You know what's funny is you never know.
They said a sign of like lying or something is making inappropriate jokes in moments where stress is happening.
You should have started a side of intelligence.
What'd you say?
You should have started.
Anyway, so I have made jokes where no other human would have made a joke. They were like, your wife's missing and she's dead, and you're making jokes about the cars. And I'm like sitting here like, I made lots of jokes at funerals I shouldn't make. Like I make jokes. I laugh and make jokes at things that aren't funny. Don't I?
Yeah.
But it really helps me. It's a sign of intelligence.
Everything.
She might be nervous because she's trying not to reveal too much. Agree, copy.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe the sister and the boyfriend did something to her. Oh, Lord. Elkhart got Kathy thinking this. Not zoomed into her soul. Yes.
Yeah.
Neff said, I make inappropriate jokes on the regular. I'm going to jail. I really do. I be like, oops. I be saying stuff that I shouldn't say.
Yeah.
Like, just shouldn't say. And I'm always one of those people who's like, oh, that was too soon, wasn't it? Like, you know, I'm a too soon joker. I don't know what's wrong with me. Naj used to pick the right spot. The boyfriend's initial Facebook post explaining that she was missing was pretty sus. First, he had the wrong day and had to go back and correct it from Thursday to Friday. And they lived together.
And you know, Facebook showed that. They'll say edited, and you can click on edited, and it'll show you the first correction.
Fix it. All right, let's finish this. Wrap up this video.
Smart. Yeah, delete it. But somebody can screenshot
them. Is
operative, and he wouldn't give the kids over. What is the status of the children right now, if you can tell us?
All I can say about them is that, you know, I can confirm they're no longer with Adam, but they're in good hands and they're safe. Myself and my family, we've seen them and they're doing really well considering.
Yeah. And talking about the last time you spoke to Maddie, I know that there was a text message that was exchanged, correct, where she actually laughed at a message, but if you want to amplify that, but also the last time you actually spoke to her on the phone, and what maybe that conversation was about.
Yeah. The last text I got from her was 8:15 that morning of the 31st. And yeah, I had just sent her a funny picture the night before, and she was just chuckling at it the next day. And that was the last I heard from her. As far as the last phone call, I had FaceTimed with her actually the previous evening with her daughter Ellie. You know, they were in good spirits. They were about to be out the door on their way to gymnastics. It was recently Ellie's 5th birthday. I had gotten her a new gymnastics leotard, so she wanted to show me. But yeah, everything was fine at that point. They were both normal, happy.
So this literally came out of nowhere, because we know that her wallet, her ID, her jacket were all found in the house. Literally came out of nowhere. I mean, for anybody who's not familiar with this, if you can briefly explain why it is very unlikely that she just picked up and walked away and left her life. If you can tell us, I know you were close with her. If you can, and are close with her, if you can explain why that's just not really a realistic possibility.
Yeah, I mean, since Maddie had kids, you know, she's hardly been away from them for any length of time. I think the longest that she had been away was her and I took a long weekend trip together last summer. Um, that was like 4 days, and that was the longest, but she'd never gone off on her own. I've never been without communication with her, even for a day for years.
Mm.
And she had plans for the near future and for years into the future as well. She was supposed to come to my house the next day with her daughter. If plans change in any type of way, I know like immediately from her. Um, and then as far as, her future plans, I mean, she was in a rigorous grad student program at the U of M for public health. She was looking for a new place to live. So she had plans and things that she wanted to do in the future. So she wouldn't have.
There's no reason for her to just right.
I said this before. I can't imagine what you're going through, what your family's going through right now.
She's good.
How is everybody coping with this? Because this is that time where there's such uncertainty, and there's been a tremendous effort to search for Maddie. I think that's pretty incredible. And again, if there's anything that we can do here, our podcast has a very large reach. Earlier in the program, I actually laid out the number for Crime Stoppers and a number to call if anybody has any information. But this point, how are you and the family coping with what's happening?
Every day is different. Every day is hard. We all have our moments where we're breaking down and we're inconsolable. And we all have our moments of strength. We're all playing to our own strengths here as far as how we can help. Like I'm talking, with everyone publicly. Our older brother, who's, here from, he's active duty Army. He's on the ground on foot searching every single day. But yeah, coping, I mean, it's kind of like we're like zombified, just kind of like walking through the days, and the world is going on around us, and we're just kind of frozen in time right now. But we have a really great support system, and the community has been really wonderful.
They've been amazing. They've been really amazing.
Baby, I couldn't do it if I were her.
Yeah.
Think about like your sibling.
Yeah. That's tough. Was this her yeah, I'm sure it was her younger sister.
Yeah, I think it's her younger sister.
That explains it when she says zombified. Like,
she did look zombified.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and you can't blame her. It's like, golly, think about that. Like, says it's been years since a day has passed that she hasn't. Well, it's been years since they went longer than talking past a day, essentially. And now what? 2 weeks? What did they say? 2 weeks?
It's been 2 weeks, March 31st. So actually, that's
been 3 weeks. Been like 3 weeks. No, wait. Today, yeah,
it's been 20 days.
Almost 3 weeks. Yeah.
That's hard. That is hard as heck. I feel so bad for her, but
yeah. She got that like just numb feeling type of look.
Coffee has the tea. She said, "Sorry,
keep spilling
the coffee has the tea." Also, his time frame that he gave for when he left, came back, etc., doesn't make a lot of sense. Was he gone for an hour and a half or 3+ hours? There's a big difference. She's talking about the boyfriend's Facebook.
Wait, run that back. As a time frame that he gave for when he left, came back, etc., doesn't make a lot of sense. Was he gone for an hour and a half or 3+ hours? That's a big difference. Yeah.
Nefertiti said, "Kathy, what if?" And tenfold hat moment. What if him and sister want each other, but Maddie is in the way? She got to go so they can be together without people think they are fucked up.
Wow.
Y'all love to go. She's out here stop watching true crime. Y'all just be going hard.
Well, I mean,
coffee cake or coffee cake.
Wilder things.
It's not coffee cake. We have a coffee cake person, but we ain't seen them in a while. But coffee cake is. Anyway, but Coffee 56 said he ended up picking up. You're not coffee cake, right? Anyway, he ended up picking up kids for daycare this afternoon. But I haven't heard if he did that on his own or if he had to wait to be called because Maddie didn't show up. But it seems really weird. Agreed. Elcar, baby, can you read this one? Because I need a second. My eyeballs burning.
Naffy. It's things I shouldn't laugh at daily, but I do because I think Biden run like a toddler that's going to trip every time, and yet he still do that little run.
The other thing is that he didn't alert anyone that she was supposed to disappear without a trace at whatever time he claimed he came home and she wasn't there. But her cell phone, etc., was there. Damn. Shit. A family member tried to contact Adam around 8 p.m. that Friday night, and he didn't even get back to them until 9. And he had known the entire day that she was apparently disappeared into thin air. Do you hear this?
One more time. I was making Nefertiti a moderator officially, finally.
Why didn't you make Bendy one? Why didn't you make Bendy one?
Girl, I don't be remembering everything. I
know. Like, it's not that I don't want Neff, but you've been forgetting about my Bendy.
Okay, well,
you just wait until we talk together. That way we don't accidentally make mistakes, brother.
Huh?
Here, read this comment, baby.
Go ahead, baby.
I'm waiting for you to come back. I'm waiting for you to I've read it already. You didn't hear it the first time.
Can you reread the comment, baby? Gotta be so much. Come on.
A family member tried to contact Adam around 8 p.m. that Friday night, and he didn't even get back to them until 9 p.m. And he had known the entire day that she was apparently disappeared into thin air. This girl said, I'm a Smurf now. Nefertiti said, I'm a Smurf now.
That's funny.
I'm just saying, don't be making, we gotta take care of everybody. Give me my phone back because you doing stuff. Give it back, baby.
Come on, baby.
I've had mine, I've had mine for longer than you've been alive, probably. Enough. She's talking about the tinfoil hat. She looks like a zombie and the Lori Vallow kind of zombie. Oh, shit. All right, let's get back to it. We're Smurfettes. I'm a Smurf now.
Smurfettes. That's funny.
And now look, Meg, well, my feelings aren't hurt at all. See, that's why you should just wait. So we can discuss things like a family. But he just thinks he could just do stuff.
What do you mean?
He just thinks he can do stuff. I'm sorry, y'all.
No.
I'm so sorry. Let's get back to the video.
This has been discussed. This was something that I just forgot to do.
I was very clear about, first of all, I love me some Nefertiti, so she can certainly be. But I'm just saying, like...
You know these lives are recorded. I can just pull up the live when you said it.
Bendy's been here since day one with Kathy. Forget about Bendy. And Meg's been giving us her whole love and life.
Thank you, Meg. Meg, we ain't forgot.
Meg says probably best you don't give me power.
Oh, God. That's funny.
The search efforts. I've just been reading about it.
No, let's not fight.
If you could speak to anybody who has any information right now, and hasn't come forward, what would you tell them if they're listening to this, if they see this, if they see you, somewhere else? What would you tell anybody that has information right now?
Obviously, come forward in some way. Maddie doesn't deserve to be a missing person. We don't want her to be a statistic. We don't want to be questioning years from now, where she is. And I know there's people out there that don't like dealing with law enforcement. There are ways to give tips anonymously. No one has to know who you are. So if that's you and you know something, I would take advantage of that. There's no harm in helping here, essentially. So we just ask that if anyone knows anything, that they please just come forward with that information.
Megan, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know I speak for everyone here. Our hearts are with you. Our prayers are with you. We are hoping your family gets answers. We hope that Maddie is found safe and sound. And if there's anything we can ever do to help in any way, you let us know. But again, we're wishing you and your family the very best at this really difficult and challenging time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And that's all we have for you here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. Speak to you next time.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Mm.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are y'all just scrambled my thoughts with all these different scenarios and situations, because it's every time that they bring one up, it's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, well, that could be true. Oh, well, that's a good one, because my basic understanding was what I explained earlier, which was just she just didn't want to cause any future damage that may be not done already. Like if her sister is still alive, she don't want to do any insinuating and potentially cause something to happen and be the, reasoning for something to happen. But then you all brought up all these different scenarios of what could potentially have happened. So it's just interesting. And I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really have I don't know. It's just up in the air.
Trish said until the police exclude him, he has to be the prime suspect. And maybe the boyfriend wants the kids. Trish said, have you heard that Nefertiti said, when you heard that when these big search parties happen, they usually find other missing people's bodies. I'm not surprised.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I've never thought about a lot of stuff that y'all bringing up. Seriously, like
this is why we're not crime scene investigators.
Like that's crazy. It's like imagine finding someone, but it's somebody else from years ago. The rest of the person like you're still, happy that some case was solved, but it's not what the intended purpose was. It's like, how do you feel about that?
I think that there's a lot to this. It's a lot. Mama Kathy said, "Oops, boyfriend's family wants the kids." Yeah, I thought that. Like I think I even said that earlier, that maybe they want the kids. Maybe they just want to find a way to have the children without having to fight for it. And people in desperation just say fuck it and start doing crazy things that they shouldn't do. So, I'm scared. I feel like it sucks. It's sad. I feel bad for that sister. I don't think she has anything to do with it. I think she's a legitimate sister, and I think that it's just, but crazier things have happened.
But for her to show up on a show and volunteer herself to the public,
people do that.
Yeah, but I'm sure she had to have looked at the channel and seen what they actually look and what they do and stuff. Like there's literally just from the last 48 hours, 15 videos on the Lori girl or whatever. I'm sure at this point nowadays people scan to see the platform that they're being interviewed before they actually go to it. You got to be an expert level.
Why someone wouldn't?
Right, but you got to be an expert level actor, at least, if knowing you did something to hop on one of those platforms and be judged in front of people like us. We're not even lawyers, and all of us are breaking stuff down and looking at it. Like you pointing out the little thing that she did, that's that's a level of critique that I don't think a lot of people will be volunteering themselves for if they were guilty. So just my opinion. I wouldn't, at least. No, I did something and you talk about a page that got thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of subscribers and such on top of everybody else. Let me see. I don't know. They had their views or subscribers, but nah, I couldn't do it.
Can you read this one from Elcar? I'll be right back.
Elcar says, what if the sister and the boyfriend messing around and shows zero emotion? None in that interview. I mean, here's the thing. It's possible. I've seen crazier things. I just find it hard to believe that if she was really guilty or if she really played a role in this, that she would volunteer herself to go into this live, not even live, but like this interview for Law and Crime and be put out to the world, knowing that she played a role in her sister's, you know, I don't want to say death, but missing situation. That's a very challenging thing for me to kind of grasp with. Let me see. Coffee underscore 56 says, this guy is not a trophy. He's not good looking and he's not employed. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Kathy says, Naj, have a drink for me, please. I will. I have some wine. That's all we have. We have a little wine. Let's see. I don't think so for now. I agree with Naj, but there is currently a trial in Leticia Statch that also talked to the news, knowing damn well she killed that boy. I'm not sure what that specific case is or what that's about, but yeah, I can see people like just talking, or just like giving a quick like opinion about something or whatever it may be. But like this was a serious like long sit down interview. This was like 20 minutes that she sat down and talked. Well, this was 20 minutes of what we saw. I don't know how long the actual interview was, but they broke it down to be 20 minutes or so. So I couldn't see her opening or being open to being questioned about this unless she's like a real killer and this is like what she does and she's planned out, her ability to be you know, standoffish without worrying about repercussions. Kathy says, hit the like, is free, subscribe, set notifications to all, click the bell, comments after live so it sticks. And when Kathy says comment after the live so it sticks, she's referring to once we click that end button and this video is actually on the page, go to the live column and then make a comment under there, right? Man, it could be any comment. It could be a video that you want us to review. It could be what I feel like I'm not in focus. Hold on. There we go. It could be something that you want us to review. It can be a lot of different things. All right, so just drop a comment afterwards. Keep dropping comments in the chat, but afterwards as well. Let's see. Neff. Kathy says Neff this one. That one is so sad too. I hope I ain't skipping nothing. Nefertiti says, wait, I thought he had a child. This man is Tommy from Martin. He says he has a child, but what does he do? I thought the news said he went to work as she dropped off the kids. I feel like I heard that. Or maybe this sounds like that would have happened. We aim to talk about Leticia. Or probably we need.
Can you pause real quick and ask them what they think about Jonathan Majors and him getting cut for everything and all the trouble he's getting into for his domestic violence situation with that little woman that he was dating in New York?
Did y'all hear her? I don't know what. Somebody pressed fast forward on her. She just came in spitting bars like she twisted or something. I've only heard that he's not employed right now. All right, so let me tell you what Raina said. Raina said, Bendy said, I'm sorry I got called away. Naj, I whine sometimes. It doesn't come from a bottle. That's funny. All right, so check it out. Raina wants us to pause, and she wants to know, what do y'all think about the Jonathan Majors situation? With that whole, you dig. She wants to know y'all opinion. What do y'all think about everything right now that's going on with Jonathan Majors, with the whole him getting essentially canceled with everything that's going on right now with the girl that he was talking with, all that stuff. What do y'all think about that? Let's take an intermission from this specific case. All right, this is the intermission from Madeline into Lori, because we're going to talk about Lori next. But what do y'all think about Jonathan Majors? Let me see if I can pull up a video right fast. Jonathan Majors. Give your opinions. What do y'all think about that? Because he's being basically...
Anybody know?
Huh?
You know, he got charged for strangulation and assault.
Yeah, I just asked. I think they were still talking about this case or whatever. So, damn, shorty. Raina brought the hookah.
Unemployed right now. I don't know enough about it to say anything. I honestly don't know that much, but I know that he's getting... It kind of reminds me of the Johnny Depp situation, but without... I'm not saying he's innocent at all. You don't know enough. But it does kind of remind me, like, he's, like, on a high. He works for Disney right now. He had all these contracts. He's getting cut down from stuff. So Jonathan Majors, Kathy, is the... I don't know why your hair is going everywhere. But Jonathan Majors is a... up and coming, very famous.
Nobody knows nothing about it. They like, if it ain't true crime, it ain't my time.
It is crime. True. It ain't true crime. It ain't my time. So Jonathan Majors is a famous actor. He actually plays in Ant-Man Quantum, whatever. If you watch any of the Marvel movies, he is Kang. And there's like another version of him, depending on which multiverse he's in. He's like one of the strongest characters. He also played in Lovecraft Country as one of the main characters, and he also played in The Harder They Fall as the main character. Not Idris, obviously. So a lot of good movies. He's an up and coming he played in Creed with Michael B. Jordan.
Was Lovecraft that crazy movie?
Kathy said I only watch YouTube. No, it's a show. An HBO show, and we were watching it, but it went crazy.
That weird shit, right?
I don't know. I don't follow celebs either, but this one was interesting because he literally has been getting all this attention because I love Marvel movies, so I only know him from that. Like, I never saw Creed or anything like that, but I watched.
Marvel movie playing?
He played in Quantum Ant-Man, and he's one of the new characters for Ant-Man.
Oh.
And in Ant-Man movie, he's in the multiverse for Marvel. And he played in Creed and The Harder They Fall, which is a great movie. Like, just it's like a Western movie. It's so good.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, but I thought we watched it together. It's really good. But long story short, he's getting in trouble. I'll do a video on it later since none of y'all know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah. They like, next.
Obviously, they're like, what the fuck?
They're like, who's Jonathan Majors, actually?
Y'all gotta know. Okay, they'll be on it as soon as he starts getting up in here. But just know you heard it here first, baby. You heard it here first, okay?
On Naj and Raina.
On Naj and Raina. So y'all start hearing about it a year from now when he goes to court for it. And it's on court TV on Law and Crime. You'll be like, Raina and Naj said something about this.
I knew that's what you was in there doing. So like, can you stop me? I'm like, yeah, it was making that.
Come on, let's get to it. Because it's 9:54. We got an hour. One more hour.
So, it is time to get back into the Doomsday, Mom.
Little LD.
Little LD.
Little LD, crazy, so.
Low down. That's what LD stands for.
Meg said if there's objective evidence they did, screw them. If there isn't, I'm not sure. That's the part, Meg, real quick, about Jonathan Majors. It is very, like, one side saying we have video proof he did nothing. Then we have another side that's like, oh, she recanted her statement, but then the statement sounds more like someone who has, like, Stockholm Syndrome, not like a real recant. So it's like, I don't know. I don't trust it. We'll have to see. All right, let's get to Lori.
Lori. All right. This is what y'all came to see. Or did y'all come to see Madeline? What made y'all hop on it? Was it Madeline? Was it Lori? Or was it just because we're live?
Well,
Y'all
whatever
wanna
the case
come in
is.
with us. Let us know.
We got to get it going.
All right, shorty. All right. Okay. What am I seeing? Which ones you at? Oh, down here.
All right, let's start with day 6. That one. Oh, wait, let's let me watch this one.
That's all I was trying to figure out.
And then that one.
Okay. Here we go.
Happy 420.
Happy 420. Hey, speaking of 420. Speaking of 420. I did hear
that. What? Oh, about Jonathan Majors. Okay.
Happy 420. Speaking of 420, I got that green stuff. Okay. I got that green stuff. The newest product by BBP, built by plants. This is our newest superfood. Can you focus? There we go. This is our newest superfood. All right. So this is lots of fresh veggies all in one. If you don't eat your veggies, you don't eat enough veggies, we got you covered. Veggies, fruits, so on and so forth. Contains spinach, spirulina, kale, apples. Pretty much everything that you need. I can list the whole list.
I just realized I was making a weird face. It wasn't
you were
for
the
you.
Whole time,
I'm so sorry.
It wasn't for continues to
my brain was going on something else. It was not about this. I just was thinking about something else. This actually tastes really good. I'm so sorry, baby.
Just the awareness. I'm just wow, thanks, baby. The whole time. All right. So if y'all want the official supplements panel, I'll read it to you all right fast. So spirulina, if y'all not sure what spirulina is, it is a superfood. It actually contains a lot of protein in there as well, right? Like a superfood. So it covers a lot of the bases when it comes to your vitamins and your minerals. I'm going to go through a little bit of it, but it has broccoli sprout, kale, tomatoes, pineapples, watermelon, spinach, red raspberry, cherry juice, wheatgrass, whole bunch of others. So definitely go ahead and grab your green stuff, all right, by BBP. Let me see if it focuses. Let me go a little bit closer. There we go.
It's because of me.
I know. I knew he was going to do it. There you go. Yep, not working.
It did work.
Grab your green stuff, bbpstuffs.com. It actually tastes really good. I want y'all to try it out, all right? Go ahead. Happy 420. Get your green stuff.
This man. Y'all, let's get to these videos. I was going to say some other stuff, but let's get to these. Oh, it's not protein though, Mama. It's a superfood. There's no there might be protein. How much protein's in it?
It is a superfood. It has amino acids, which is what proteins are made of. But if you need protein powder,
she said she can't have protein.
Oh, okay. Wait, you can't have protein?
I can't have a lot of protein because she has kidney stones.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you said she needs
protein. He said slide to the left. Like, boy.
No.
All right, let's get to it though, because I don't want us to spend. I mean, I want to get to the next video, but it is relevant. 420. Najee was very excited about 420 and getting this. I just want y'all to know he was waiting all day for his first sample to get in because he worked really hard on it. So, you excited?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Click it, baby. Let's go. I'm ready. You can start us off.
Our audio recordings. Gigi McKelvey has been inside that courtroom being our eyes and ears. Before she comes on, we're going to take a look at an audio clip from yesterday's testimony. This is April Raymond, Lori Vallow's former friend.
In 2018 or 2019, did she start to talk about...
Hold on, 1 second. Okay, I think we're good.
Put it back on.
Ryan, a third victim in Welcome to Law and Crime. I'm Michelle Yu, and thanks so much for joining us. We're continuing to discuss the Doomsday cult mom, Vallow Daybell, out in Boise, Idaho. The 49-year-old defendant faces conspiracy and first-degree murder charges in the deaths of her two children, 7-year-old J.J. Vallow and 16-year-old Tylee Ryan. A third victim includes her husband's first wife, 49-year-old Tammy Daybell. Meanwhile, Chad, her husband, faces similar charges and will be tried separately. No cameras are allowed in this courtroom, but along with our audio recordings, Gigi McKelvey has been inside that courtroom being our eyes and ears. Before she comes on, we're going to take a look at an audio clip from yesterday's testimony. This is April Raymond, Lori Vallow's former friend.
In 2018 or 2019, did she start to talk about multiple lives, being someone else in a previous life?
Yes.
And did you believe in that?
No.
And did the church that you two attended together, is that what they taught?
No.
Okay. Did she, in July of 18 or February of 19, did she start to talk about zombies?
Not in 2018, but in 2019.
Okay. And is that something that you two had previously talked about in Hawaii in 2016?
Not drugs,
No.
nothing, I promise.
So that was something new as well.
Yes.
How about casting out evil spirits? Did Lori have that new belief that she had some power to do that?
Not that she shared with me.
Okay. In July of 18 or February of 19, did you talk about castings?
No.
Okay. How about a light and dark scales? Did you ever hear that, or did she talk to you about that?
Yes.
And when was that?
In 2019, at my home.
Okay. And did you think that was unusual?
Yes.
Certainly something that you two had never talked about when you lived in Hawaii previously in 2016.
That's correct.
Did she tell you in 2019 that she was a goddess?
Yes.
And what was your reaction to that?
I just tried to not react and just...
I don't know. I mean, like, a lot of people call themselves goddesses, but obviously this lady's crazy. But some of these questions, like, some of this stuff wouldn't be that wild to me if I heard it. Like, she said she was a goddess. Like, some people say that because they feel very good about themselves. But obviously she was delusional, so. Oh, it keeps going on the wrong one. Hold on.
The leader of the
2019 at my home.
Okay. And did scales? Did you ever hear that, or did she talk to you about that?
Yes.
And when was that?
In 2019 at my home.
Okay. And did you think that was unusual?
Yes.
Certainly something that you two had never talked about when you lived in Hawaii previously in 2016.
That's correct.
Did she tell you in 2019 that she was a goddess?
Yes.
And what was your reaction to that?
I just tried to not react and just listen to her.
You mentioned that she said she was a leader of the 144,000. Did that happen in the February of 2019?
Yes, sir.
And had she ever mentioned that in 2016?
Not in 2016, but in 2018.
So that was key testimony from yesterday, but now we have Law and Crime's Gigi McKelvey here with us. So Gigi, welcome. In some courtroom drama today, we hear that Melanie Gibbs' husband, David Warwick, listened into some of his wife's testimony before realizing that he wasn't supposed to be doing so. And it's my understanding that the judge ultimately decided that he is still allowed to testify. Can you elaborate on all of this for us?
Yeah, so we had a little meeting outside the jury, outside the presence of the jury, where he admitted to listening to about 45 minutes of her testimony before it hit him. He wasn't supposed to. He said he really wasn't listening to the context, but more just how her voice sounded to see if she was doing okay. There was some back and forth. The state obviously wanted him to come in. The defense did not. Judge Boyce did rule that he would be able to testify, and so he just got off the stand.
Now let's get into the meat of his testimony here. What has stood out to you about that so far?
It's a lot of things that we kind of already knew if you followed this case, but really it was just he was one of the last people to see J.J. Vallow alive. He was there at the time J.J. was murdered, apparently in Alex's apartment. So Lori had told him that J.J. was out of control. The morning that he was leaving, he asked to see J.J. Lori said that he was climbing up on the refrigerator, up on the top cabinet, knocked over a picture of Jesus. So she had Alex come and get him.
Meg said, I have a very expensive face, but I think she's been expressive. But I'm mad at you, sis. That was funny. I have a very expensive face. I couldn't not react. Everything about that would weird me out, and my face would give everything away. Yeah, I mean, when you start saying that you believe you're the leader of the 144,000, and that you, that's what the testimony just said.
I have a very expensive face too, Meg. But what happened with this 144,000? Well, that's why it's the cult. I never knew why they were calling it the cult. That she's the Doomsday Mom cult. So she thinks she's the leader of this cult situation. What happened?
Well, in Revelations, and depending on which culture you're from, there's gonna be like a reckoning where only certain people will be here. That will, because everyone else is gonna be sent to hell, right? Or if you're like Jehovah's Witness, there's going to be like, I think it's like 44,000. I don't know. I am very expensive right now. I'm gold, babies. But yeah, so there's, depending on like religion, that's not really cult-like. That's like some religions believe in that.
No, but that's what they were labeling it as. They said the Doomsday Mom cult.
Yes, the reason why it's called a cult is because they were actually they were manipulating the actual religion, the Latter-day Saints religion, into something more sinister, where they were saying God was telling them to kill people and that people were becoming zombies, and that they were having this delusional like mindset of who they really were in the midst of this religion. And that's how they created this little cult. Because Chad Daybell like went off the deep end and she was like following it. So like, it's like there can be a cult in like Christianity, like, what's his name? That had everybody drink the Kool-Aid. It started off as like normal religion. Yeah, they were trying to morph their own followers. Yeah, so does that make sense?
And that was he had specifically. He was climbing up on the refrigerator, up on the top cabinet, knocked over a picture of Jesus. So she had Alex come and get him. And that was, he had specifically asked to say goodbye to JJ. He has a son with special needs and tried to connect with JJ, but ultimately JJ never really acknowledged his presence.
Muted?
We're muted.
Oh, that must have been an accident. Can you guys hear us?
They can. They just couldn't when we were reviewing.
Cool.
So, but he did want to say goodbye, and that never happened because unfortunately at that point, JJ was already likely at Chad's property being buried.
Wow.
How has the jury been reacting to his testimony, especially the parts where he discusses certain visions he claims that he has?
I don't think this jury's getting shocked as much as they were last week. I think it's kind of become the norm to hear some very off-the-wall religious beliefs. They're taking a lot of notes. I will tell you, pretty much every juror is jotting down notes as these witnesses testify, which I totally understand if they don't know the case, which they don't seem to. This can get very convoluted, and they're going to need something to refer back to in deliberations.
Who else was called to the stand today, Gigi?
We had several witnesses. We started off with Sergeant Nathan Moffat, who was originally the lead investigator over the murder of Charles Vallow. He was promoted in 2020 and replaced, but essentially went through that little timeline. It wasn't really anything new from yesterday, where he talked about the ride home. He drove Lori, Alex, and Tylee back home after those interviews and said the conversation was lighthearted and nonchalant, as if none of this had happened. Then they called the babysitter that Lori hired there in Rexburg, who was going to watch JJ for what she thought would be an extended amount of time over several months or however long. And then they called the principal from Kennedy Elementary, the school JJ went to for just a couple of weeks. I think in those two witnesses, what the defense was trying to push is that Lori was looking at these two places long term, not as if JJ was going to be murdered just weeks later. That's kind of the vibe I got.
Well, who do you think the state will call after lunch now?
I've heard that we're going to start getting into some cell phone data, maybe some pings of where people were at crucial times, which is something I've been interested to learn. Other than that, I haven't heard anything else about who's coming up later today, but I did hear that witness will come at some point today about the cell phones.
Gigi, how much longer do you think the state has in their case?
It's flying by. I mean, they're going through these witnesses very quickly. Cross-exam has been little to none at times. And, maybe a couple of weeks, 3 weeks at the most. I just don't see this dragging out for 8 to 10 weeks like they've said. Of course, that was mainly, I think, when death was on the table and it was going to be a much, much longer process for mitigation and that kind of thing. But now, 2 to 3 weeks, I'd be surprised if we go much further than that.
Is there still speculation that the defense case will be short?
That's what I've heard. I mean, it's nothing confirmed, nothing official's been put out there, but I've heard if they put anybody on, it wouldn't be many. So that in itself will shorten how long this trial goes before the jury gets it.
Well, Gigi, you've been covering this since the beginning. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we let you get back into that courthouse?
It's just been very interesting to watch the process. Lori, a couple of times, kind of giggled to herself and talked to her attorneys while David Warwick was on the stand. And so you can tell, we know that he was labeled as somebody who was dark in Melanie Gibbs' life. We heard that on the phone call that she recorded that was played in court. So we know Lori's not super fond of David Warwick, and that was pretty obvious today by her reactions when he was on the stand.
Well, Gigi, thank you so much for your great reporting as always. Until next time, go follow Gigi McKelvey on Twitter.
Wow.
Gigi McKellen. Interesting. Let's see what we...
Trying to pull up the next video. All right. Wow. I mean, ultimately, I think that because Lori Daybell is such a weird bitch, we forget how, there's, real horrifying things that have been done. 2 kids have been killed.
Man.
By their own mother. Or by her instruction. It's really fucking gross.
Did I miss some?
That's about some bus. But right there it's good.
Oh shit. Moving so fast. Lori and Chad were living out there do not disturb fantasy and doing some weird shit, or sheet, as I say.
Is it do not disturb?
That's what D&D usually stands for. Usually it may be something different, but to my knowledge, my latest text knowledge, do not disturb. Chad wasn't even creative with the names of the demons he made up. They suck at LARPing.
D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh. Well.
I can't wait to see that movie.
Definitely thought it was Do Not Disturb.
I was like, why would you say Do Not Disturb?
That's all I knew the D&D stands for.
What they did to those kids is sad, for sure enough. I completely agree.
And eye for an eye.
That Aquarius be coming out sometimes.
She sounds country as fuck. Gigi's from South Carolina. That's where my son's from. Gigi does a lot of traveling for law and crime. Oh, cool. Thank you, Kathy. I'm not sure what I said. Scroll down. Autumn, what's going on?
Autumn Rain.
How are you, Autumn? How
Miss
you doing?
Autumn.
I think that's it.
Great.
Okay.
Let's get to the next video then. Cause
In the apartment. Lori Vallow was in her own apartment.
mom's innocence.
All right, go ahead.
9 tactics Lori Vallow Daybell's defense is using to claim Doomsday cult mom's innocence.
That's the video we're about to watch. To this page.
What's LARPing? I'm old. I'm not old. I don't even know what LARPing is either.
Yeah,
so.
I have no idea. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I tried to just roll with the flow and just.
I never even saw her say LARPing.
It was early. I read it. I just don't know.
Oh, live action role playing, also called LARPing, is a character-driven type of gameplay that is conducted in the physical world. This sounds like ChatGPT response.
I didn't even know that was an actual acronym. I thought
That's
it
cool.
actually meant something. That's interesting.
Live action role playing. Also called LARPing. It's a character-driven type of gameplay that is conducted in the physical world.
Interesting.
So it's role playing.
Yeah. Okay. On mute.
So, just so you guys know, we're muting this a little bit, so you guys don't have to listen to our hookah. But I'll unmute when we're talking. So.
Vicksburg, Idaho, when J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan died in the apartment of Alex Cox. Lori was in Hawaii when Tammy Daybell died at the home of Chad Daybell.
It is a deep dive into some of the major moments from the defense in the Lori Vallow Daybell criminal trial. Can they convince the jury that their client is not a murderer? Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. From streaming Law and Crime on your TV to watching our videos on Facebook and TikTok, you know that you shouldn't have another perfect home pair and national ship case and the impact each witness has had. But now it's time to reverse it. Let's talk about how the defense has been doing in this trial. And we want to highlight some of the big takeaways since the beginning of this case. But first, a recap. The 49-year-old Doomsday mother is currently on trial in Idaho and faces life in prison on first-degree murder and conspiracy charges in connection with the deaths of her children, 7-year-old J.J. Vallow and 16-year-old Tylee Ryan, as well as 49-year-old Tammy Daybell. This is the deceased wife of Lori's co-defendant and current husband, Chad Daybell. Now, while the bodies of her children were found on Chad's property, he's facing similar charges, by the way. He'll be tried at a later date. Tammy, it was initially believed, died in her sleep from natural causes, but a further investigation revealed that she had been murdered, died by asphyxiation at the hands of another. That's according to prosecutors. Now, the theory put forward by the prosecutors is that Lori did this for several reasons. One was to be with Chad, who she was having an affair with. 2, for financial gain, in other words, to obtain the proceeds of Social Security and life insurance benefits from the victims' deaths. And 3, that she and Chad felt justified through their extreme religious beliefs, that there were these dark spirits, good versus evil, that the kids were possessed. You get the idea. Now, here is the complication for the prosecution, and something that is being exploited by the defense: the charges. You see, she's facing first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder for the deaths of the kids, and conspiracy to commit murder in the death of Tammy. But it is not so simple. In fact, it is a bit complicated. Listen to defense attorney Jim Archibald in his opening statement, talking a little bit more about that.
So Chad Daybell is not on trial here. Alex Cox is not on trial here. He's deceased. Other co-conspirators, I don't know much about that, both known and unknown. So, again, your focus will be on the actions of Lori, not on Chad, not on Alex, not on co-conspirators, both known
they're
and
being
unknown.
slick.
And the charge that the judge read to you was Lori Vallow concerned in the commission of first-degree murder. Did she aid and abet?
Listen, this is possibly how they're going to get this little weird demonic bitch off. Because kind of like you were talking about Charles Manson, I don't think she physically did the do.
Mm-hmm. You talked about that.
They'd have to really prove that she was the reason for their deaths. She's got to get something. So hopefully they have negligence or like endangering a child or whatever. I forgot all what she's getting charged with.
She's basically the ringleader.
Yeah, but I don't believe she did the actual do.
Yeah, just commands. She's like the person that calls all the hits, essentially, if you were to compare it to like a mob boss or something.
Agreed.
Somehow. Or the language of the charge says, or not being present. Did she advise and encourage it to happen? Or by command compelled another? So this charge is, did she kill? Or did she assist? Or did she encourage? Or did she command? So in other words, this charge is saying they're not sure what happened, but yet they want you to be sure. So that's the challenge here for you, is you're going to be given all these alternatives, and you're going to have to be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt.
So what's he saying? He is saying, okay, you are going to hear allegations about Chad. You're going to hear allegations about Alex Cox, Lori's deceased brother, who it seems the evidence is pointing to being the person that actually carried out the killings. But just because the evidence is strong against these men doesn't mean that it is strong against Lori. This is about what she allegedly did, not them. This may have been her husband. This may have been her brother. It doesn't mean she's complicit. And I think what more importantly Archibald is saying is that, look, the prosecution has charged Lori under a number of different theories, particularly with the murder charge. The jury could say she aided. The jury could say she compelled. The jury could say she encouraged. And look, if they find that any of that exists, then yes, she could be found guilty of murder. However, this jury has to find that she did this beyond a reasonable doubt, our highest legal standard. And by giving the jury so many options, it's saying, jury, the prosecutors aren't even sure of what really happened here, but they're asking you to be sure. In my opinion, I think that's a good point by the defense. Okay, so now with all of that in mind, let's listen to some of the cross-examination of the prosecution witnesses, and we will start with lead detective Ray Hermosillo. Now, he would explain the intricacies of the investigation, how the bodies of the kids were discovered.
No, it's Latter-day Saints,
I'll tell you,
Elcar.
went into graphic detail.
Wait, is that
It was
Mormon?
very not easy to hear. And, of course, how investigators ultimately targeted Lori and Chad. But what the defense did was highlight what authorities don't have.
Jumping back to the autopsy, you indicate that you were there when JJ's autopsy was done. Was there any trace evidence collected on that particular day on June 11th from the autopsy?
We stood in the back. The medical examiner didn't let us get too up close with, he had his team working around JJ. So I wasn't directly involved with the autopsy, so I can't answer to that. I just observed.
Okay. At any time later after the autopsy was done, did you take trace evidence off of JJ's body?
I did not know personally.
Okay. Do you know anybody who did?
I do not know personally anybody that did.
Okay. You ended up getting a warrant the next day. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you found some guns and some magazines and some other paraphernalia. And when I say paraphernalia, I mean like weaponry, paraphernalia stuff like that. You understand?
Correct.
Did you, at any time during the investigation, was there anything that led you to believe that Lori Vallow or Lori Daybell was involved in having those weapons or owned those weapons?
No, sir.
So how much ties back to Lori, right? This is just an example. They may have searched the garage, but none of those instruments are hers. I believe what the ultimate theme here and what they're ultimately trying to show is a lack of forensic evidence directly tying back to Lori Vallow Daybell. And look, that lack of forensic evidence can hurt a prosecution's case. And when you think about this case, really, it is very much a circumstantial evidence case. It's mostly based on Lori Vallow Daybell's eerie, questionable, arguably incriminating comments regarding the kids and Tammy, her allegedly lying, her refusing to turn the kids over, her asking her friend to lie for her, the questionable timeline, like Lori and Chad getting married 2 weeks after Tammy's death. Could a jury convict based on all of that? Sure, yes.
Even her brother's
But again,
death.
how much do these comments and actions show she conspired to kill and or was a direct principal in the killings? And that brings me to another important point, and that is regarding the death of Tammy Daybell.
With regards to the death of Tammy Daybell, Tammy Daybell died on October the 19th, 2019, as far as you know, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you know where Lori Daybell was on October the 19th? Or I'm sorry, at that time she was Lori Vallow. Do you know where Lori Vallow was on October the 19th, 2019?
I do.
Where was she?
Hawaii.
Okay. So she wasn't anywhere near Tammy Daybell when Tammy Daybell died?
That's correct.
And this is consistent with what Jim Archibald said in his opening statement, that Lori was in her apartment when the kids were killed at Alex Cox's apartment. This is all an alibi defense. Now, while a defendant doesn't necessarily have to be present at the crime scene to be found guilty of murder, or in Tammy's case, conspiracy to commit murder. By the way, all you need for conspiracy is really an agreement to kill, and someone as part of this agreement takes overt steps in furtherance of that plot. And for the murder of the kids, you don't have to actually be physically present at the crime scene. You could have encouraged or compelled someone to do it. Nonetheless, Lori not being there could support.
That kind of reminds me of, y'all remember a cheerleader like years and years ago that got convicted for her boyfriend committing suicide because he wrote her and said, "I'm going to commit suicide." She said, "Go ahead, do it. Like, use a knife too or something. Like, you should do it like this." And that girl got convicted for not, like, for encouraging him and talking him into suicide, basically.
Wow.
It was a cheerleader. She was very young. And they were like, how could she? And it was like, there was like a lot of different perspectives. Like, how did she know he was really being serious?
How
like,
old was she?
I can't remember, but I think she was in high school. So I think she was like 17 or 18 years old, tops.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't remember the facts, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Does anybody remember that?
I'm saying I don't know if I agree with the fact that she should be convicted.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't remember the exact facts, but I do remember something like that.
She's a young kid or whatever. Like,
maybe
as sad as it may be, like, kids have a very, I don't know if dark is the right way, but just very, like, ignorant way of, like, responding to each other. I know as a kid in high school, me and my friends, we used to joke and say a bunch of ignorant shit to each other. Even as we got older, in our early 20s and stuff. But that was just our way of, like, joking, right? So the fact that something happened to be serious at that time, I don't know. Maybe if I know a little bit more about it, but...
Neff remembers that she said, I remember that Raina, she talked him into killing himself. Yeah, it was like she didn't do the killing, but there was text messages showing that he was, like, willing to do it, and she was like, go for it, buddy.
Now, I don't know the details, right? Like, I'm just going based off of that specific statement that I just heard you say.
Yeah.
So if there's more to it than that, and she would like actually like help and set up something, that's different. But just based off of what you just said specifically. But,
Thanks. Yeah, Kathy, take care of Bill. I'm glad you have it on the phone. Raina, is that a bong? No. So it's a hookah. It's really popular in like Turkey and different Middle Eastern areas. So basically, you put what's called shisha in it, which is just like really, really flavored tobacco. You could also get non-tobacco shisha, so it doesn't like you don't have nicotine in it, and it just has a flavorful smoke to it. So it's not like any type of like drug or anything. It's just like a flavorful smoking device.
basically.
I don't know. It's very popular in a lot of areas, like in the Caribbean, in Turkey, Middle East, different areas in Texas and Atlanta. They smoke it a lot, like everywhere.
Chicago.
Well, in Chicago, it's like not everywhere in Chicago. They have like dedicated places for it, but like you could be out to eat and people are smoking hookah. Like it's just very, very common. I know everybody doesn't know what it is, so you ready?
Be physically present at the crime scene. You could have encouraged or compelled someone to do it. Nonetheless, Lori not being there could support the defense's argument that she wasn't a part of Tammy Daybell's death or even the kids' deaths. Okay. Time to move on to Melanie Gibb, a crucial prosecution witness. Lori Vallow Daybell's former best friend. Former. Because she provided devastating testimony about Lori's warped beliefs, about Lori thinking JJ and Tammy were possessed, that Lori asked her to lie to police about JJ's whereabouts, that Alex Cox told her, you don't want to know when asked about what happened to JJ. So when it was time to cross-examine Melanie Gibb, the defense team really tried to hit upon her credibility.
Ms. Gibb, you've met with the prosecution on several occasions over the last couple of years, right?
Correct.
Okay. When was the last time you met with them?
A few years ago. I don't remember. A few years ago.
So you didn't meet with them in preparation for this trial today?
Not physically.
What does that mean?
I didn't meet face-to-face with them. I met on Zoom, but I was thinking about when I met with the officers down there. That's what I'm referring to.
Okay.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking of just the interactions I had with Lindsay on Zoom. I was just thinking about an interaction I had physically with them.
What was the last interaction you had with either Ms. Blake or one of the other prosecutors?
It was trying to remember what month it was. Was it end of March, beginning of April, I believe?
So this month?
It could have been the very end of last month.
Okay. And did you go over your testimony with them?
Yes.
Okay. And prior to that, when was the time before that you met with the prosecution?
It felt like it was back in Chandler, a year or two. I don't remember how long it's been now. It's been a while.
Okay. When you went over this with, you said Ms. Blake, is that right?
Correct.
When you went over your testimony with her, were you as forgetful as you've been today?
Yes.
Now, it seems to me the questions are, how much does she really remember about what happened? And maybe
Oh my
they're
God.
saying,
Yo, the shade. Chill, sir.
Were you born this forgetful?
When you were going over everything with all your testimony from years and years ago, were you as forgetful as you were today?
You remember?
You can't even remember what happened last week or last month, but you gonna sit there and remember whole conversations verbatim. That's fucking up someone's credibility. He did good with that.
You know what you did last summer.
Trish said, I find all these people in this case really weird. Trish is hilarious. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Yeah. All her friends are full of shit. Yeah. Certainly not easy. So let's get back to it.
Forgetful as you've been today?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it seems to me the questions are, how much does she really remember about what happened? And maybe they're saying, is she a manufactured prosecution witness that will just say what she wants them to say? That's my take. Later on, defense attorney John Thomas also appeared to try to downplay the insidious nature of some of the religious beliefs and practices and statements of Lori Vallow Daybell. And that on, defense attorney John Thomas also appeared to try to downplay the insidious nature of some of the religious beliefs and practices and statements of Lori Vallow Daybell. And that includes the practice of casting, something that Lori and Melanie participated in to remove dark spirits from the body. Now, prosecutors are suggesting that this all goes towards Lori's twisted religious justification for killing those around her. But as Thomas seemingly tries to point out, maybe this is all more benign.
And I believe you indicated something about disconnecting cords or trying to convince the spirit to leave the body.
Yes.
And it was all done with prayer?
I think you can call it prayer. It's my best word.
Okay. You're praying to God or your Heavenly Father to try to help you to get this evil spirit out of this person or heal this person or do something like that. Is that right? That's where you were going with that?
Yes.
Okay. Because I don't want to put any words in your mouth. Okay. Let's talk about zombies. So, you had heard Lori use the term zombie, right?
Correct.
This wasn't the first time that you've heard the word zombie, right?
Oh, it's a worldwide word. Correct.
Right. And it's been around for a while, at least the 1960s from what I can see, right?
I believe so. I don't know when it started, but
you've heard it growing up.
Yeah.
Okay. So when Lori talked about zombies, did you immediately think that they were going to die?
No.
Okay. What were your thoughts about that?
It was a bizarre teaching. I believe Lori thought it was bizarre at first too. It was very something she'd never heard of in the context of how it was explained to her through Chad.
And as they continue to strike at the credibility of key prosecution witnesses, that brings us to Zulema Pastenis. Zulema is the widow of Lori's deceased brother, Alex Cox. And she would testify that Lori told her JJ was going to have a short life. This is before he was actually killed. That Lori insinuated Tammy Daybell died because she and Chad received instructions on how to cast demons out. Zulema said that Alex told her he was afraid he was going to be Lori and Chad's fall guy before he died. Zulema even said that on the night that someone tried to shoot Tammy Daybell, someone tried to shoot Tammy, she survived. Zulema says that she overheard an angry Lori on the phone saying, "Idiot can't do anything right by himself," maybe in reference to Alex Cox. So anyway, Zulema was an important witness for the prosecution, to say the least. Now, what did the defense do when they had an opportunity to cross-examine her? Well, it seems to me they're saying, can she really be trusted when she herself has some wild beliefs?
Would you please tell us a little bit about some of your spiritual experiences while you were in the temple?
Would you like me to relate anything in specific that you are referring to?
Sure. One of the ones was specifically on 12/4/2018. It says, "Hi, Chad. This is Zulema. I have to tell you that since you gave me that blessing, I've been having visions, full awake, no more dreams. My visions have been at the temple. I've had 3 so far." Do you recall that?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about some of those visions.
Judge, I'm going to object again about the specific visions. I'm not seeing the relevance about her visions unless they relate to Chad and Lori.
Sure. Thank you.
I am not exactly sure specifically which visions he would be that I was referring to at the time. I can explain one that I remember. I remember seeing myself in a beautiful room with a big table, and I was sitting at the head of the table, and there was all these children or people sitting. It was a very large table, and that's what I saw.
And there was a man sitting on the other end.
Yes.
And you couldn't see his face, but he was a godlike being.
Yes, a very light being. Mm-hmm.
Look, my guess is they're trying to show that she herself may not be the most reliable narrator, but I also do wonder if the defense is suggesting that Chad's influence on those around him was so powerful that maybe they believed whatever he said, and that maybe Lori was deceived by Chad and lied to from Chad about what was really going on with the kids. I don't know. That might be a little bit of a stretch. We'll see how this ties up later on in the case. But I believe, like they did with Melanie Gibb earlier in the case, through Zulema, the defense is trying to downplay the evil nature of Lori's beliefs, particularly what happens at these casting sessions. That, yes, while they're trying to rid a body of dark spirits, that doesn't make someone a murderer.
When you were doing these castings, is that what they were called? Is that what you called them, just castings?
Yes.
Okay. They were done spiritually, not physically. Am I right about that?
Correct.
Okay. You never physically harmed anyone or attempted to harm anyone, right?
Correct.
You were attempting to spiritually harm or bind the spirit of that particular person, right?
Correct.
Okay. You were, I guess I want to use the word light worker, or someone who works for, who is working in a spiritual realm for.
Yeah, I want to tell y'all this. In my opinion, I mean, if you're spiritual, you might feel this way. You might really feel connected to the spirit. You might really feel like you are a light worker. You might really feel like you do have clairvoyancy. Like you feel like you do feel you're a little more sensitive to the nature of people and so on and so forth. But I think that the average person, especially here in America, that sounds like delusional. And if these particular people, I believe it could be very delusional. But you never know. I think that it's kind of like when those people were going to court about doing exorcisms and children and people were killed in the process. And they're like, we're trying to exorcise demons from them. And like, the average person cannot get down with that because it's just like, there's just no proof that what you're talking about, there's no tangible proof that what you're talking about is real. So it's like, it just sounds delusional. So regardless, I can see the jury being very like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, and in addition to that, is I think the summary or the thing to take away from that is to be careful with the content that you're consuming. Because
Agreed.
they probably went down a rabbit hole of stuff that put them in a position or at least consumed their mind. And when I say the content, I don't necessarily mean specifically like YouTube, but just in general. Whether that's the books you read, the people you're talking to,
The church you go to,
the church, like that,
the meetings,
all of those
seminars.
things, everything, whatever, their daily interactions, people that you talk to on a day-to-day basis, all of those things, because everything is content essentially. Any information that you're taking in, that's the verbiage that we use for content. And if you go too far down these specific avenues, you can go down the wrong one, right? All of these are different directions, and they probably went down a crazy rabbit hole of information that got them to believe some stuff that made them really feel what they were doing was right. And she really probably thought she was doing the quote unquote right thing. I don't believe so.
My girl said it's gobbledygook.
Yeah.
She said exactly. It's gobbledygook.
Yeah. So just be careful with what you're consuming when it comes to information and topics.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed, my friend.
The lighter side, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Back it up.
The word light worker, or someone who works for, who is working in a spiritual realm for the lighter side, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. And this was, you didn't think that this was anything evil or anything bad?
No.
Okay.
Not at the time.
But you've since then come to think that it was evil or bad?
There are 2 children that have died and a mother of 5 that have died. I will consider that evil, yes, sir.
Okay. And you believe that your casting out of spirits had some direct effect on 2 children that died and the spouse of another person that died?
My belief is that...
I'm sorry, that's just a yes or no question.
Objection. Answer should be allowed to answer.
And I think that counsel can handle that on redirect. So, to my recollection, what you're saying is you believe that your work on casting had a direct effect on the 2 children that died and the spouse of the person that died.
Not my work, but Chad and Lori's work did.
I think the point defense attorney John Thomas is trying to make is you can't just assume that if Lori was a part of this, she's responsible for what happened to the kids and Tammy Daybell. And again, is Zulema someone the jury really should believe based on her own practices and thoughts? That's my takeaway. Now let's move on to another big witness for the state, Colby Ryan. Colby Ryan is the sole surviving son of Lori Vallow Daybell from a prior relationship. He testified how his mother wouldn't tell him really what was going on when the kids were missing. There was a phone call that was played between him and Lori while she was in jail where she is laughing when talking about.
If you watch the Netflix special, is the one that was sexually assaulted by her husband. So he was her first child.
Her husband, that's
not his father. I think it was another husband. She's been married multiple times. So I think it was her second marriage. But her first marriage, she had him. Her second marriage, that man assaulted the son, sexually assaulted the son. Yeah. She left that marriage. I believe that father is either what's the baby girl's name? Not JJ, but
it's her dad.
Tylee. I think it was either her father or the man in between her father. I can't remember.
How old was he?
I think he was like 6 or 7. When he was like actually like R word.
Wow.
Tylee, yeah. But she, from what he said, she did the right thing and got him out of there once she realized it was really happening.
kids. The dead didn't tell him really what was going on when the kids were missing. There was a phone call that was played between him and Lori while she was in jail where she is laughing when talking about the kids, the dead kids, and how she says, "You don't know what happened. You don't understand." She's seemingly throwing a lot of religious justification in there. It is a wild call where he's basically outright accusing her of being a murderer and she won't say what happened. We actually covered this on a previous sidebar. Encourage everybody to listen to that. So once again, on cross-examination, the defense, specifically Jim Archibald, honed in on Colby Ryan's credibility.
And you wrote a book since this case started. Is that true?
Yes.
And the book is called The God Over Odds. Does that sound right?
Yes.
And what is the purpose of your book?
It's my testimony.
About how Jesus loves you?
About how he got me through my life.
And so Jesus is a good figure in your life?
Yes.
Not someone who would wreak damage to others?
No.
You also appeared on some media stations, is that right?
Yes.
Some on YouTube?
Yes.
Was that your God Over Odds media company?
No.
Okay. Is that still an ongoing concern, the media company? Or is
Not
that
right now, no.
Okay. And then you did a docuseries, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you paid for that?
No.
Okay. And in this docuseries, let me read this quote, and you tell me if that's what you said. "My mom has spent her whole life protecting us kids.
Yes.
After she met Chad Daybell, she changed."
I don't remember, but yes.
Okay. And so those were this. You don't remember, but it in that docuseries, could have said that.
Yes.
So it seems to me that the argument that could be coming from the defense is whether Colby Ryan is benefiting from this case and his position against his mother. Jim Archibald then continues, and he's seemingly humanizing his client, Lori Vallow Daybell, that she was a good mom and a good person.
Did your mother, Lori, help you and Tylee with thoughts of lack of self-worth?
Yes.
Was your mother supportive of your decision to go on a mission and then to come home from a mission?
Yes.
Did she teach you about Jesus?
Yes.
Did you and your mother sing songs about Jesus?
At church.
Did your mother teach you to believe in Jesus?
She built the foundation.
And did she teach?
How old is he currently?
I think he's like in his late 20s or early 30s.
Oh. I thought he was younger.
What's his
than
name?
that.
Colby Ryan?
Yeah. I thought he was younger. Okay,
I might be wrong. Let me see.
No, it makes sense because he sounds like he's pretty mature based off of how he's speaking. But Kathy says early 30s. Okay. So he's in our age range.
It says he was 26 in 2022.
Oh, it's 27. Late 20s.
He was born in 1996.
Oh, yeah.
You about multiple lives. Did you ever hear that from her?
No.
Did she teach you about zombies?
No.
Did she teach you about casting out evil spirits?
No.
You never once thought your mom would hurt someone. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Did you love your mom?
Yes.
Did she love you?
I think so.
Reversing the narrative. A lot has been made.
It's the did.
Yeah.
I was expecting.
Did you love or not? Do you?
I was expecting him to ask, "Do you still?" After he said did.
Maybe he wanted to make sure he didn't ask a question that he'd get a negative answer to. It's strategic, to make sure
because
you don't ask a question, you're gonna get a negative. It's like sales.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess what is his intent though?
That as far as this young man knew, his mother was perfectly fine. And I think the intention is to demonize Chad Daybell and say up until she met Chad Daybell, she was normal, right? She talked to you about Jesus. She sang songs with you. You never thought she'd ever do anything wrong. It's Chad Daybell that manipulated her into being this person. Gotcha. She's not the manipulator. He changed her. She was normal until he came around.
So I think that would his fault. I think that would go to the point though if he then came back around and said, "Do you still?"
He might say no because you killed my brother and sister. So you don't want to hear that from the defense attorney. The defense attorney is not going to want him to say something negative. So he's going to say, "Did you love her?" After asking all those questions, yes, and he's leaving it at that. The jury's going to be left just thinking she's very human. She was normal, and they're going to be like, whatever happened, it came from this Chad guy, not from her. Gotcha. So it's like changing the perspective that she's the ringleader. It's changing that.
Something happened because everybody laughing at something.
Oh, I don't see. I'll see. Oh, they're laughing about his voice being creepy. He sounds like a weird person. So he said he sounds so creepy. But yeah, exactly, Raina. Normal, Mama Kathy said. I know this voice is putting me to fuck sleep. I'm like, God, wake me up.
Is it his voice? Or is it the nightcaps?
It's probably a combination of both because I'm about to run out of here and go to sleep.
We just took some of the nightcaps. Y'all can grab y'all's at bbpsauce.com. Make sure you get some so y'all can take them during the last 30 minutes or so.
We don't need ads, ad videos. Najee is the ads.
I am an ad. I am a walking ad or a sitting ad.
Before she and Chad, Alex and Lori are supposed to have had an unhealthy relationship. Yeah, I mean, they were splitting anyway. He must be part of the cult. Didn't she marry Chad after the children were murdered? No, I think she married Chad before the children were murdered.
That would be horrible. Marrying somebody after your kids?
I think it was before because Tammy passed first. Then they got married 2 weeks later.
How can you even get married after your kids are murdered? How can you even focus on anything other than that?
Nav said this man is very monotone. He did the opening statement of the defense, and it was a slog listening. Yeah, I agree.
About Lori.
Did you love your mom?
Yes.
Did she love you?
I think so.
Reversing the narrative. A lot has been made about Lori Vallow Daybell. Did this change the jurors' impressions of her and what they have heard about her? Maybe her beliefs are not as nefarious as the prosecution would have you believe. Maybe she's not the person to kill her kids. I will say it's a bit tough to fully decipher what the defense has been doing in this case. This was my best crack at making sense of it. But hey, we still got a lot more trial to go, and a lot more can happen. That's all we have for you here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever.
All right, there's like one more video I want to watch, and then I think we're good for the night. But this is the one with, I want to hear Colby and the ladies. Colby, Ryan, and Lori. Audio. Because I heard that was a crazy one. It says it's a long video, though. Let's see. It's weird to me every time Notch promotes the brand, the screen briefly freezes. Is it just me? I don't know. I don't know. Who's Jesse McCarty? Is that what we call him? Jesse McCarty? So we're going to listen to Lori Vallow's phone call with her son, Colby Ryan, after siblings JJ and Tylee were found in June 2020. Come on, baby. Now you're getting tired, I can tell. Get over here, crazy. He move like an old man.
Slide to the right.
He is he's okay.
Who?
His teepuses be throwing me off. Jesse McBabyface. They love him. The guy that hosts the podcast. They call him Jesse McCarty.
It's weird to me every time Najee promotes the brand, the screen briefly freezes. So is it just me? Is it just me? It's freezing because it's giving you the clues to go to the website.
It's paused so you can watch it longer. All right, let's get to it.
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You think you can hide from me?
I'm not hiding. You just quit talking to me?
Probably because you murdered my siblings. That's probably why you stopped talking to me. Maybe you should understand.
I didn't. I'm sorry that you feel that way.
You didn't do anything, right? Mom, I've prayed for you in my worst moments. I prayed for my siblings who swore to me we're okay. I thought I could trust you. I thought that you were a completely different person. I don't know a murderous mother.
You can make judgments when you weren't there and you don't know what happened.
What happened?
Everyone's making their own judgments.
Mom, you've been shoving BS down my throat for a very long time. I'm gonna talk to you.
You can be
in
mad.
a sweet. Hey, listen to me. I'm not mad. Listen to me. Fine, listen to me. I've sat there and prayed. I can't tell you the amount of pain that I have felt from your decisions in Jesus Christ's name. It kills me to watch you sit here and tell me this is a trial. It kills me to watch you take the victim's route and say that this shouldn't have happened to you. When you are telling me that Chad Daybell came into your life and all of a sudden everything changes. And I'm talking about my spirit feels this. I prayed. I trusted you. I gave you every chance I could past my own limitations as a human being. I pushed past all of everything to try to get to you, to help my own mother. You lied to me, specifically to me, more times than I can count about this. To know
that they're gone and you knew, and my phone's being texted by my little sister who's not even alive, my little brother who's the sweetest little kid
Oh my God.
ever, for what purpose? Can you tell me if this is God's will for my whole family, including my stepfather, to be dead? After everything that you try to tell me, you can tell me right now that Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world, is on your side. You tell me that with all the conviction in your heart that Jesus Christ is on your side.
Fuck. That is hard. Real quick pause. Shout out to Autumn for the super chat. Thank you, our
Appreciate you, Autumn Rain.
loving moderator. But this is super wild.
So I have a younger brother, right? And
two
I
sisters.
have two younger sisters. Like, of all people, like imagining your mom. I don't know about everybody's relationship with their mom, right?
If you have a good one.
I have a very good relationship with my mom. I can imagine that he probably thought that he did as well. And for him to then, I mean, if he's in his late 20s at this point, like he has probably a good
He's married with a child.
Okay, well, let's expedite that then. He probably has the mindset of someone that's at least early 30s, maybe mid 30s. I think life expedites when you get married, especially if you have kids, even more so.
Yeah,
kids ain't.
agreed.
For him to then view, because he has a very young brother, life expedites, but more so like for him to go through that experience of being texted by his younger sister
and thinking she's alive.
Yeah, after they pass. Like, I can only imagine like what he's going through and what he's thinking at that level. Because you can literally hear the hurts within the way that he's talking. He's trying to hold it together.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that he knows and thinks that has a lot to do with the stepfather, whoever she ended up marrying. Like, because I can also see someone coming into her life and like persuading her into thinking a different way, and then
fucking with her head, man,
making her get rid of the kids because he has his own vision of what he wants, right? And sold her a vision. I don't know if this is it. Maybe she did the persuading. I don't know what it may be, but like from his perspective, being her child, like that is the worst situation that one can be in, where you have two younger siblings, and to some extent I know he feels like he's the protector of those siblings, you know, and then for them to just be gone and there's nothing that he can do about it, feeling hopeless and believing and trusting in his mom, and she's acting this way. Y'all seen that screenshot? Matter of fact, y'all see this image of how crazy she looks.
She's like Tiffany from Chucky.
Y'all see how
she
crazy
like
she looks.
The wife.
Like, and there's nothing that he can do about it to protect his younger siblings. And me knowing what it feels like to be the oldest of all of my siblings, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Like, that's a very challenging. I'm gonna throw it up by you right now, but there's a very challenging situation to be in, especially as a guy, and you have a younger sister and a younger brother, and to feel
and then the younger brother is very young with a disability. He's autistic.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, like he's even more. I hate to say like this, but it's even more innocent. It's almost like,
yeah,
you know, like babies.
Literally, that's wild.
If she didn't want the kids, it sounds like Kobe would have been happy to take them.
For real.
Kobe, the grandparent, somebody. And he had to grow up fast because he moved out from Lori when he was 17.
Wow.
They were both cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Didn't get that out. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Hey, Maddie. Girly. We haven't seen you in a while. Coming hard with the photo. Slay queen. Anyway, time to imprint memories every day. For real. I mean, honestly, if you have family and people that you love, you need to imprint memories every day. I love that acronym for time. I mean, a lot of us have great relationships with our family, and you never know when something unexpected. We just watched the thing about not she really liked that quote or that acronym, Kathy. He just screenshotted it. But you never know. I mean, we just saw the whole thing about Maddie Kingsbury and her sister and their family, and they're all looking for her. Like, really, just like every day is precious, every moment. Like, don't spend too much time bullshitting and fighting about dumb shit when there's real things you could be doing with your family that you care and love. So,
the Savior of the world is on your side. You tell me that with all the conviction in your heart now that Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world, is on your side. You tell me that with all the conviction in your heart that Jesus Christ is on your side right now. Please.
I can't tell you that.
Say it, Vinny. Say his name. Say that he told you. And you followed him like exactness. Because I have prayed for you. I sat there and tried my best to forgive you and Chad and Alex. And I was deceived. And I was broken by my own mother. What are you doing? What are you doing? I prayed to Heavenly Father, and I said, you tell me, Father.
All right, have all made these judgments. They think they know what happened. They think
I don't care about
they know
other people.
What happened. They think they know who's responsible.
Do you know that you told me?
Everything.
Do you know what you told me?
Yes, because you weren't there. So
You're right. I wasn't there. I was kept in the lab.
And one day,
two kids
you will know.
Murdered.
One day,
Murdered.
you will know what actually happened.
You're right. Because you know what, Mom?
And we all will stand there with
everything
Jesus.
into the light. You're absolutely right. He will convict the people who act in his name with pure blasphemy.
She's laughing.
Is this funny? This is funny? This is funny. You're laughing. Like, this is funny. How come your camera's on, Mom? You don't want to look at me in the eye?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
You're laughing while we're talking about the death of my siblings, you fucking weird bitch.
This is one of the most saddest situations that I've experienced watching.
I think because you have such a strong relationship with your mother, like, you can't believe it.
Yeah, because it's like, I can only imagine what he's going through, thinking from the perspective of, like, you're, like, it could have been him as well.
Yep.
This is his mom. They share, like, well, should have shared the same love for the other
children.
Yeah, and his siblings. And to see his mom up there laughing, what the hell is funny about this situation? You lost your two youngest children. Your two youngest, knowing how much that girl loved her younger brother, and the older brother is there trying to get some understanding from the mom, and she laughs. Even if there's something that's really funny about her, but as she laughs out loud while he's talking to her and trying to get some understanding based off of the principles or whatever you taught and brought to him, because clearly he made it clear that she's the reason why he believes his beliefs, and then the fact that you laugh about it. What the hell? Like he said, what the hell is funny? Like, why do you feel like that's a reasonable approach in this moment when you're about to take your ass to jail potentially?
I feel like if she really was innocent, she would say, baby, I know this looks bad. I know you're scared. I need you to trust your mother right now and know that I'm not who you think I am. I think there's a better way to go about this if you were truly innocent, and where you'd have to understand why your child would feel this way. It looks really
And
bad.
it's your child of all people. It's not like it's the damn, like it's someone that's trying to prosecute you. It's not like it's someone that's like your enemy. It's your child, the one, your firstborn,
who you've protected supposedly. So like
and not just who you protected,
right
but who you essentially failed to protect, right? Because she's the one that married that second guy. You essentially failed to protect him. So at least have some understanding and like some, empathy for, based off of what he's experiencing. It's just the craziest thing to me. This is just wild.
She was laughing. Oh wait, I think we had a super chat somewhere. Oh, here we go. Another one from Mama. From Autumn Rain. Let's go.
Thank you, Autumn.
$5.50 from Canadian dollars from Autumn Rain. A Shiba dog in a combat position.
Appreciate
Let's
you, Autumn.
go,
Thank
Autumn.
you so much
Thank
for the
you.
super chat.
We're gonna put that right to our internet bill so we can stay on here with you guys. Thank you for another super chat. Absolutely, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but Autumn said something earlier. Let me go back and see. Let me find it.
This is wild. That kid is really hurt. I didn't call him a kid. He's in his late 20s.
Right. Autumn said,
God.
not trying to spam or anything, but I have videos I took of where I live if any of you want to see sometime. I just do it for fun, not a career or anything, just a hobby while off. Sick. I hope okay. Yes, girl. Show us.
Mm-hmm.
Just for my friends. We're your friends, girl. Let's do this.
For sure.
Mama Kathy sent you the email. If you're still on the Patreon, send it there. Otherwise, Kathy, can you send it to us? Because we'd love to watch.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed.
Neffy, it's the same for a girl dad, boy mom relationship. Literally no difference in spoiledness for sure. That fucking video game villain laugh pisses me off.
Man.
It pisses me off too, because it's just like, dude, what is your problem?
Like, this is your son venting to you, and you laugh. Like, you want to talk about driving a person to want to, like, end their life. Like, your mom, the person that you can think that you can console and, like the person that's there for you, that got rid of your younger siblings, he probably lost right now.
He is lost right now. Absolutely. Like, he's probably like, what the fuck is going on in my life?
And then your mom laughs about her 2 children that he's trying to get some understanding. That's
I'm
crazy.
sorry. I think you can just click on my thing on the crow. Oh, so it's on your YouTube page right now. Okay, yes. We'll take a look at it, girlie. Cool. All right, let's get back to this crazy shit.
Funny? This is funny? This is funny. You're laughing. Like, this is funny. How come your camera's on, Mom? You don't want to look at me in the eye? Why can't you look at me? It's
nice
just
to
you and me.
talk
I'm
to
in my
you
house
folks.
alone.
I love you. I always will. One day you will see and one day you will understand.
Go ahead and hang
I
up.
do love
See
you.
how that works for you. You gonna hang up?
I don't have anything else to say. You obviously don't know.
Let me tell you
You weren't
something,
there. You weren't there. Summer wasn't there. My mom wasn't there. The police weren't there. The FBI weren't there.
You're right.
Nobody
No one was there.
was there.
Kylie and JJ, Mom.
Yeah, and guess
Kylie
what? They
and
know. They
They're
know exactly what happened.
backyard.
And they love me. And we are still together forever. They love me. And they are fine. And they do know the truth. And I know the truth. And we're the only people that do. So you can judge me, Colby, all day long. Go ahead and judge me. The whole world has. The whole world has judged me.
Listen to me.
They don't
Hey,
know, and
please
you
stop.
don't know. You don't know what I've been through, and you don't even give a crap what they've been through. Nobody does. Except for me. I'm the one that knows. I'm the one that was in the hospital with Tylee for hundreds spent days watching her suffer. I am the one that was there doing everything with JJ every day. I was the one who did it all these years.
You did it all to throw it in the garbage. They're not.
You don't know what happened. Every day. I was the one who did it all these years.
You did it all to throw it in the garbage. They're not.
You don't know what happened. You don't know what happened.
Freaking matter what happened if they're buried in your new husband's backyard. Tell me that matters. What happened. You tell me that you did this in Jesus' name, Mom. I have to hear that out of your mouth. If you believe it, then you are not afraid. Every witness of Christ will scream his name when he comes back. So you are that person.
I am that person. I am that person.
Christ,
and he will come to you. Oh, yeah, Cole, because that's what it is.
Okay.
You don't even know. You weren't even there. You don't even
know. When I asked you about Tyler in October, what did
So tell him. Stop saying you don't know because you weren't there. So fucking tell me what happened.
It's sad
like, you keep talking about I wasn't there. You don't even know you weren't there. So say it. What the fuck happened to my siblings?
And she's acting like she's the victim.
You don't know. And they love me. And you weren't there hundreds of hours. Tylee was in the ER, the emergency room or hospital, whatever. Bitch, you sound fucking drunk. Shut up. Baby says she's got a kangaroo loose in the top paddock. That was some real Australian shit. She's got a kangaroo loose in the top paddock. Does that mean like she's crazy? A girl really needs her mom. I hear that. I absolutely adore my mother very much. She's done some things, where I'm like, girl, what was this? Or what are we doing? This is not the vibe. But I always have my mother's back because I really truly know her. But if she was in a situation where she was being accused of harming my siblings, I would need her to tell me something that would make me. I couldn't just blindly trust it if all the evidence was stacked against her. I could not just blindly trust that when so much evidence is stacked against her. You need to say something different than just you weren't there. Well, what the fuck happened?
And keep in mind, she's the one that and he had a one-on-one with, who was it that was talking with him where they were talking about that his beliefs. She was the one that installed it into him.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Colby.
No. I'm saying who was the person that was talking to him about
the
that?
Defense attorney?
Yeah.
Her lawyer.
And the fact that he's coming to her saying, like, say that in Jesus' name, and like everything that she instilled in him, and it's like she's basically being extremely defensive and extremely like anti-supportive of what he's going through. Because it's probably the last thing that he thought he would ever see. He probably thought he was going to see his brother do all type of things as he got older. Probably thought he's going to see his sister grow into her 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever it may be. And their life were cut short. They didn't even get to see the age of 30. Do you know how young 30 is?
It's so young.
I
feel like a child.
I've been 30 for 3 years. If that makes sense. I've been 30, 31, 32, 33. Okay, so I've been 30 for 4 years.
I'm not even 30 yet.
And I will tell you, I feel the youngest I've been in a very long time. I feel younger at 33 than I did at 23. I feel amazing at 33. I would take my 33-year-old version of myself over my 23-year-old version of myself any day, anytime.
I'm sure. You got me now, so life is good. Okay. You didn't have me back then, which I don't understand why you didn't come get me.
And the fact that they didn't get the chance to see 30, and the kid, the youngest son, didn't get a chance to see 15, 20, is just like messing with him. And it's going to mess with him for the rest of his life. He's going to have to, after this court case is over, he's going to have to live with the fact that his younger brother, his younger sister, that didn't get a chance to see 30. He's essentially now just he's a
memory.
Like him himself, he's the only child at this point.
Yes. Yep.
And he got to live with that for the rest of his life. Along with the fact that this is the memory that he gets of his mom, because he's probably not going to talk to her after the situation is over. And he's going to have to deal with that. And it's just really sad that this is the way that she's acting and then behaving, as opposed to trying to have some understanding for a child based off of her actions. Even if she feels that she's 100% right, like, this is also her child, her firstborn, so at least have some sort of, like, empathy for what he's going through. Yeah. Regardless if you feel like he's responding wrong or whatever, like, you brought him into the world. Even if you are 100% correct, like, understand what he's going through.
It's hard, like, yeah. And here's the other thing. Shout out to the comments. You guys are really, like, coming together about, like, your personal relationships with your parents and the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I think that there's some real shit to that. We all have, unfortunately, strained relationships at some point when it comes to our parents. Our parents are human beings too, and humans do some fucked up shit. So I'm glad you guys are having like a virtual hug session in the comments, because sometimes we need that, especially when we have strain with our parents. I know I've had strain with my mother, even though she's like my best friend now. I went like 3 years not talking to her one time. It was a long time. And then I know that we all, you know, we've had strains with our fathers before. And those things are hard, and you have to really come back from it if you can, or you have to accept that it's just never gonna fucking happen. And kind of be grateful for the second parents you get, or the third parents you get. You know, the people that come in your lives and kind of take over those positions, and you can lean on them in some way. But it's just, this situation with this young man is sad because he doesn't have his father. He doesn't have his siblings, like Najee said. And now he doesn't have his fucking mother. He's an orphan. You know, he's an actual fucking orphan. And it's sad that this woman's alive and he can't have a relationship with her because of what she's chosen to do to his siblings. And he could have been one of them too. I mean, right now, this bitch is probably calling him a zombie today.
Then,
because he don't agree with her.
The other aspect of it is he has a kid, supposedly. I don't know what he has. 2? Yes, imagine him having to explain what happened to his kids' uncle and auntie at these young ages. Imagine him having to explain what's going on with their grandmother. Imagine those kids getting older. This is the internet age, the information age, of them researching their grandmother and seeing this and seeing the interaction between him and his mother.
You can easily look it up. That's for damn sure.
For
the
sure.
80s, baby.
You can look up any and everything at this point. Find it very quickly. Type in their name and it's right there at the top of Google or YouTube.
Yep.
Instantly.
Yep. Let's wrap up this last video.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Cole, because that's what it is. Okay. You don't even know. You weren't even there. You don't even know.
When I asked you about Tyler in October, what did you tell me? What did you tell me? What lies did you feed me? Why would you lie to me if you're with the Lord and you've seen him, and I'm just talking purely to you, and you've seen Jesus Christ, where's the fear? Why wouldn't you tell me something? Why were you afraid? Why is everyone against you? Why is everything against my mom?
You can be against me all you want. One day, we will all stand there with Jesus. We will all stand there with Jesus, and you will know the truth of everything. Not for me.
You're telling me that this was all done in light. Say it. Tell me that this was done in Jesus' name.
You don't know what happened.
Why? Why don't I know, Mom? Oh, because I was kept in the dark to protect me? You know who needed protecting? My little dead siblings. Damn. That's who needed protecting, Mom. This
Where were you?
is not
Is that what you think you did?
You ran away.
I hadn't been
killed. A month later, you ran away. I never wanted you guys to leave. I would have taken those kids in 1 second. I would bring them into my home, and I would have taken care of them. That's not even a question to me.
Yeah, everybody
You can't say that you know.
Everybody says that.
Says it now? Where was my offer? Where's the offer? Well, you
I did everything for them.
Well, me and Peter Griffin run away together to Hawaii? How about that? If you would have offered me, you would have known. You cannot sit here and lie.
That's what everybody thinks, but that is not the truth. Okay? That's what people are thinking.
They were murdered,
They're
put in the
assuming.
ground, and then you walked away. So
You don't know. No, you don't know that. No, that is not what happened. That is not what happened.
You tell me what happened. If you can tell me what happened, then I don't care. If you can actually explain it, then it's different.
It's really sad because you could tell he's really just looking for some closure, and she's not even willing to like entertain what he's asking. He's asking some very simple things, saying, say it was done within his name, it was done within light. And her response is, you don't know what happened, you wasn't there. Like, if you feel this was the right thing to do, that should be a very easy answer. If you feel this was exactly what was supposed to happen, it's a very simple answer. And that's all he's really looking for is closure. And it's sad because it's like I can feel like his hurt, like his like pain, essentially.
Can you read this one from Neff? This is a good one. It goes with what you're saying.
Not only is his mother a murderer, but she's making a mockery of his faith. It sounds like he is deeply religious. Yeah, I'm sure he is, especially the fact that it was engraved by her. And it's like she's essentially crossing paths or going against what she instilled in him. Or maybe he just went deeper than she did and she went down some other rabbit hole. And he's just trying to get her to...
He sounds like a normal Christian.
Yeah, and she sounds like
was this done in Jesus Christ's name? Can you say that? And this girl has yet to say it.
Yeah, because it's like she's like the anti at this point. It's like saying that is like it's hurting her to say that. It's hurting her to admit that.
I would love,
but you can't
talk to you about
what happened. You tell me what happened. If you can tell me what happened, then I don't care. If you can actually explain it, then it's different.
I would love,
but you can't
talk to you about it.
Mom, you've been saying that you've been wanting to tell me for a very long time, and you never say it. You have no idea how much pain I have felt in my body. I feel like I could die. My own mom, my siblings, and my whole family, my dad, everyone is gone except for you, and you're in jail because of it. I have prayed to heaven.
I actually forgot about the father.
I just said it. He ain't got his daddy.
No, I'm saying I forgot about it because I was so focused on just like his siblings, but it's like everybody. Like he said, everybody except for her. Everybody except for her, and she's a goddamn fool.
That's why I said he's an orphan. So, and Neff just said it right here. Hold on, where is it?
Damn, that's messed up.
She can't say it because she knows these calls are recorded and she can't incriminate herself. Period.
Heavenly Father himself, and ask the family, my dad, everyone is gone except for you, and you're in jail because of it. I have prayed to Heavenly Father himself and asked him to help me survive this. Do you understand the freaking earthquake that has been caused? Do you know how many people are hurt and broken now? And you're telling me that there's a reason? Why are you following Chad down the rabbit hole, Mom? Why would you follow anybody that is not good? How can you follow someone that cannot lead you to salvation in Jesus, Mom? You can't lie to me anymore. You can't pretend anymore. You can't hide anymore. If you want to tell me what happened, I called you for that very reason. You've had enough condemnation for the whole time and eternity, but you're telling me that you're going to stand in front of Jesus Christ and you're going to be fine. Then I'm still praying for you. I am still praying for you. I don't know where the lies and all these things are written. I don't see it. I never have. The light of Jesus Christ is the most powerful thing that's ever lived. It's the most loving, embracive thing that has ever happened to this world. And I pray that you see him and fall into his grace. I pray every day. I pray, no matter how mad I am at you, no matter how bad I want to hit your husband in the face with a shovel, I pray for you. I pray for him. You ripped my heart out, and you ripped out everyone in this family's heart out. I'm going to be in Idaho this week. You need to look me in my eye, Mom. Look me in my eye.
Yo.
That's fucked up. That's hardcore, man.
That's
I could
wild.
never imagine having that type of conversation with my mother. I couldn't even imagine. And the craziest part of this entire thing, outside of his mother being a lying ass murderous bitch, is the text messages from Tylee, even though she was dead. The fact that his mother was texting him as if she was alive from her phone. And they talked about the text messages in the Netflix series. And they showed the text messages. And they showed how she was writing like a regular young girl. And then all of a sudden they were very like short. Like it just didn't feel like it was her. It wasn't like his sister texting. And it's just like, damn. It's just crazy. Kathy, stop.
Wow.
Charles was a hottie.
Who's Charles?
That was the other husband that was so JJ was Charles's nephew. And she took JJ because they legally adopted him. So she basically got the rights over JJ. Even though he's not related to her at all. Technically. And JJ's grandparents were the ones that kept calling the cops to figure out where their child was. And his grandparents is Charles Vallow's sister.
Wow.
He wants to beat Chad with the holy shovel.
Man, I don't blame him. Right to the face.
I think that in a way he really thinks that Chad Daybell has a lot to do with what changed with his mother.
He has a lot of influence.
Yeah,
I'm sure
but that's to Lori's benefit that people see it that way.
I think like the fact that he probably knows his mom, and maybe she was a different person prior to being with him. Maybe
People are ever changing. There's a journey, man.
For sure. That's one of the main reasons why I would say that you can't really say that you know an individual. You could know someone for 20 plus years,
and
you go a year, 6 months, a month or so without talking with them. That don't mean that you know them anymore. You know who they were previously. You don't know them in the current moment, especially in today's world.
For real, you know, it's so funny. Me and Nashi were talking about this. So my mother is Puerto Rican, but she's mixed, and she's what one would call like an Afro-Latina, and she's just now in her 60s. Well, she's about to be 60, understanding that she's a Black woman too. And we've talked about this quite a few times. If someone knew my mother up until she turned 55, they would never believe the things that she's trying to get herself involved in. Like she's trying to learn more about African culture. She's trying to learn more about different things. She's even learned some words in different African languages. She's trying to like understand more about just like the Black experience, and she still struggles. But she's really wants to be a part of that because she's now understands a little bit more about who she is, like ethnically and racially and DNA wise, right? And I think it's great. But there's a lot of, I could imagine if someone knew my mother when she was 35, they'd be like, what? She's not Black. She doesn't talk about being Black. She doesn't think she's Black. What are you talking about? I've known that woman for 30 years. She has never once ever said she's Black. And it's like, now she does. Like, now she's like, I'm a Black woman. And it's kind of funny because it's still so very new to me and my siblings that she like gets it. And we were just talking about that. But I mean, imagine if I wasn't along for the journey that she's been on for like the last 5-6 years, where she has access to Ancestry.com and she knows she's 30% Nigerian. You know, she's like, oh my God. You know, like she had no idea that she was actually like a real like Black person as well. When I say Black person, I mean obviously she's mixed, but the point is like she's Black, right? But she didn't know that, and me being raised by her, I didn't know she was. Like I had to like learn more about the culture. Nefertiti said a lot of Ricans and Dominicans say that. It's absolutely true. So like a lot of times you have to learn these things. My mother also grew up Catholic. She's no longer Catholic. So it's just like you could really know somebody up until they're 30, 40, 50 years old, and they change, whether for the good, for the better, or for the worse. So it really, you have to continuously be a part of someone's life to know who they are in that moment. And who she used to be really doesn't matter anymore because she's just not that person anymore. Like my mother literally like was having a conversation, getting upset with one of my siblings because my sibling was like saying certain things that weren't really in agreement with certain Black issues. My mom was getting upset about it. I'm like, girl, you didn't raise us like that. Like you didn't raise us to think like that. Like I'm sure he was very confused. So like everyone has to learn that people grow, people change, and it happens. And you never know what moment made them change. My mom brought up a very specific moment that helped her to feel more connected to her ethnicity. And I'm thinking like, that wasn't my moment. Like my moment was like years and years ago. So it's one of those things where we have to always remember that people are multifaceted. Like we're all diamonds in the rough, right? We all have different sides to us and we continuously grow. To Najee's point, you really don't know people because people don't even know themselves. They're going to keep changing. So I know Najee does look high. I'm sorry. He's very tired.
It's the nightcaps. They knocked me out.
All right, so Najee looking like Cube high on Friday. I swear he does. Let's see what these comments are saying since the video's done. I approve of that kind of blessing, talking about beating Chad Daybell with a holy shovel. Raina, I got from a man my bill with long hair to bald men, hotties. My Italian grandmother had her rosary and a 2x4. Nev said, well, it's holy because Colby's righteousness is holding the shovel as he beats Chad. Well put. Well put, Nev. Absolutely. Oh my God, he does. You did look like Ice Cube for a minute, babe.
I was like, oh,
it was like this.
Shit.
Eyes got real small.
What Q say? What Ice Cube say? He's like, shh. You hear that? You don't hear that? You remember that part?
Didn't he get up real fast? Now she put me on to Friday. I watched it when I was young, one time, so I didn't really see it. Like, I don't remember it, but then we watched it recently. It was like a year ago.
I was never seen it.
I think I watched it when I was young. Some of the scenes I remembered. I don't know. I feel like I'd seen it before.
Okay.
But not enough to say I'd really seen it. But I don't know. I feel like I'd seen it before. This was therapeutic for me tonight. Thanks, Smurfs. Wow. Mom, 5 more minutes. I have to go. Thank you for the stream. See all you chatters next time. Bye, Trish. You know we love you very much. Thanks for visiting us. What time is it there, Trish? Okay, if you're leaving, that's fine. But what time is it there, Trish? We always have long goodbyes. We do. Well, in any case, guys, we appreciate you guys coming to stay with us today. This was a good live, kind of recapping Lori Daybell. We try to talk about Jonathan Major's fail. And then going over what all do we look at?
Madeline.
Maddie Kingsbury and the crazy airline person. But
yeah,
either way, yes, we had fun. Anything else you got?
Happy 420. Y'all got 15 minutes left. Well, if you're CST. We enjoyed it. Thank you for showing up. We're gonna try to do these. Brandon wants to change it to Wednesday, right? Wednesday nights.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do Wednesdays because usually Fridays I have to get up earlier than usual. So we'll see.
So it'll probably be Wednesday night instead of Thursday night moving forward. But potentially, we'll see what we're doing as far as like the Patreon. It'll be another night throughout the week. So just so we can make sure that we're getting some exclusive content for the Patreons. So this was interesting. I will say that this one hit me the hardest out of all of the lives that we've checked out and things, because the way that he was speaking, maybe it was a combination. Maybe it was due to like the words and the way that he was putting it, and knowing that she was the one that got him into believing in what he believed, and then the total opposite, and maybe he's seen a difference between how she was prior versus after being with a certain person, and
I think
maybe
it
it was
because he is so connected to your life.
Very related. Yeah, I guess it's very close as far as him having a younger sister and brother, and have two younger sisters and a younger brother, so knowing that he probably felt so hopeless. So I don't know. It's just like, and then losing his father as well on top of that, it's just like a lot that probably hit him. So and then his fucking mom was laughing about the shit. Like, that shit's fucking crazy to me. But yeah, man, I don't know. We appreciate y'all hopping on. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. That's fine. And we will be back. We'll probably be checking out some new cases the next time y'all see us.
Guys, if you're in the Patreon, give us some ideas. We really take them serious. So
it's just
all right. We love y'all. Bye.
Peace.